No, we've stepped it up now. What is up, guys? It's your boy Bill, and as always, it's
Mr. Steve.
there he is.
Mr. Steve.
We have an extra special one tonight. Really looking forward to this. It's our first official interview. In about 30 minutes, so at 8 o'clock tonight, we are going to have up and coming country superstar, Mr. Gary Burk III. So throughout the night, we're going to make sure that we play a few of his songs. Make sure you tell your friends, get on here and join. Later on in the show, we're going to make sure that we open it up a little bit. We will invite certain people, we'll invite a few of you guys on here. You can actually join us live on screen. And looking forward to this stuff. So to start this evening, I want to do a quick shout out because we've had a bunch of people actually help us throughout this whole process. And I'd like to think we got a lot of it figured out now. Quick shout out to our boys over at Nonsensical Nonsense.
Oh man, huge help, man. With we had a countdown. I don't know if you guys saw that. We had a fucking countdown.
You're loving this technology.
There's the goosebumps again.
Yeah, game on. So I think from here on out, the sky's the limit, guys. We're going to do another quick shout out, and here's a neat little feature that I've learned how to do. We can do this now. We've been telling everybody we have a sponsor, and I've been showing a koozie. And that's been kind of, generic, not as fun, but
we're Neanderthals.
Not anymore, we're not, because guess what? Here's a quick shout out to our sponsor, Steve's Diesel Shop, LLC. If you're in the Mercer County or surrounding county areas, this gentleman will make sure that he takes care of all your diesel needs. The number for him is 724-269-0477. Hit him up, let him know, follow him on Facebook. I'm sure he's on all the social medias, and that was fun.
Man, support the local business.
Support your local businesses. So the way we're going to start this off tonight is, as usual.
Without further ado.
Cheers. Here's to another. Yeah, you gave us one of this one. Ugh. And as always, we have our.
It tastes like diesel.
It tastes like diesel fuel.
We need Steve. Better go see Steve.
That's better than you better see. What was that show? Better Have Saul or something like that.
Yeah. Better call Saul.
Better call Steve.
Better call Steve. Drink the diesel.
So yeah, we went on just a little bit earlier than what he is scheduled for, but we just wanted to kind of give you a quick taste of what you have in store. This gentleman, he's got all sorts of stuff coming up. Actually, I'm going to add a little something right now.
I found him on my iTunes, actually. He's got a couple of music videos you can see on YouTube. There's a couple tunes I really like. I really, really do like. He did some covers back in the day. His covers were dynamite. Strawberry Wine, Amazed.
Amazed is my absolute. If anybody can do that song justice, this man did a phenomenal job at Amazed.
Yeah, Amazed is almost like someone did a cover of him. It was really good.
But yeah, if you haven't, if it's your first time, make sure you like us and subscribe on both Facebook and YouTube. We usually have the links, which I do not have on me. We're still new at this, but anybody that's following us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, make sure you like and subscribe.
Yeah, it helps us out, man. Helps us out. One click helps us out big time.
The more we do, the more likes and subscribes we get, the more stuff we can do. We're really looking forward to doing some of this stuff absolutely live. We did, we keep referring to our ghost walk. We'd like to have done that live. There's a lot of events coming up. Yeah.
I don't think there's shit we're afraid to do. So we just need the likes to subscribe so we can take you with us.
But we're going to click up onto our comments right here, and let's see who all we have in here as we speak.
2 peeps.
We got 2 peeps in here. All right, cool. Like I said, invite your friends. This is definitely going to be fun. But without further ado, as my friend has said, in case you guys are wondering about this gentleman or his talents, what do you think? Should we hit them with a little something already?
Let's give him that new jam.
Already, or you want newer?
The newer. Oh yeah.
This is one of his 2 singles. This is his newest one that has been absolutely killing it out there right now. And hey, here you guys go. Let us know what you think. Let him know what you think here shortly.
All dolled up like a Dixieland dream. Hit a high-dollar diner in the downtown scene. Riding home pretty in the shotgun seat of my jacked-up country boy limousine. I threw it in park right there in a drive. That song came on 95.5. Do I walk to the door? Do we call it a night? We just turned it up and said, baby, I want a free bird kiss, free bird kiss. 14 minutes of backseat bliss. Make it long and sweet and soft, so slow. When we get to the solo, bring it up and call me baby. Let's get a little crazy. Let the swamp music make you miss my lady. One thing on earth she can't resist is a free bird kiss. When the last note hit, I was falling hard. She had my heart racing like a screaming guitar. Just when I thought the fun was about to end, she pulled me in closer and hit me again with a free bird kiss, free bird kiss. 14 minutes of backseat bliss. Make it long and sweet and soft, so slow. When we get to the solo, bring it up and call me baby. Let's get a little crazy. Let the swamp music make you miss my lady. One thing on earth she can't resist is a free bird kiss. Free bird kiss, free bird kiss. Free bird kiss, free bird kiss. 14 minutes of backseat bliss. Make it long and sweet and soft, so slow. When we get to the solo, bring it up and call me baby. Let's get a little crazy. Let the swamp music make you miss my lady. One thing on earth she can't resist is a free bird kiss. Free bird
Nice.
Now, hopefully I don't have that on loop, because when I was practicing earlier, it went right to loop, and we didn't want that because you don't need it playing over saying it is on loop. Sorry guys, give us 1 second. I know we all enjoy that song, but we are going to go ahead and do this. There we go. Still new at it, but hopefully you guys all enjoyed that.
Not bad for the first time.
I think it's working
That's
out.
solid.
I got to make sure I stay into the mic. We found out the other night as I turned my head that I tend to sound a little far away, but yeah, that was
Free
our
bird
guest
kiss.
tonight. That is Free Bird Kiss by Mr. Gary Burk III. And apparently he is already on here, and seeing as how we got some viewers, I think it is time to go ahead and
Step into the chat, my friends.
it is time to bring this gentleman up and on here. So we will go ahead and do this real quick. And we're going to have that link up there whenever he's ready to come on. we'll get this show on the road. And I'll tell you what, I'm sure there's a few other people already out there watching. And if you are interested, a little later on, we invite people to join us on here and talk to this gentleman face to face. We are going to go ahead and stream our comments on face or on screen here, so we can see what everybody's saying. But mystery guests, please sign in. And without further ado, we're not waiting till 8 o'clock. This is too exciting. Let us add to the stage Mr. Gary Burk III. And I wish we had a
What's happening?
ovation.
What's happening, man? How's it going?
Dude, we're kicking, things are rolling good. How's things on your end?
Staying busy, man. I love it.
It's good, man. Busy's good, my friend.
For everybody watching, right now we have Mr. Gary Burk III. Do you use the suffix at the end of yours? Or you just go by Gary Burk?
No,
I don't
I
want
use the third for it. I
You
actually
make
I
the
fought
third?
for
Okay.
a lot of years to have that because everybody and anybody was always like, "Why don't you drop that off your name?" And I'm like, "No, that's what makes me special."
Nice.
This is so are you like part of like a stem of Gary Burks in the family
Oh,
tree?
yeah. Oh yeah, whole bunch of us.
Nope.
Is there a fourth?
No, I
Will there
stopped
be
it
a
at me.
fourth?
Yeah, I stopped it at me.
Oh, okay. I did. When I had Connor, we were talking about making him the fourth, and yeah, we got talked out of it. But anyways, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you coming on here.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. I appreciate it. I kind of crashed your stream the other night, so thank you guys so much for letting me jump back on and we can actually talk about some stuff.
Yeah, we had a blast the other night, man. A blast.
That definitely it perked up the mood. That was an interesting conversation, and you know, you brought the positivity. So
Well, I
without
appreciate it,
further
man.
ado, for everybody that hasn't heard of you or is yet to hear from you or just hearing about you for the first time tonight, tell us about Gary Burk.
Yeah, so I'm originally from a little town outside of Butler, Pennsylvania, Shakora, and I am back here living now again. Been doing this since I was 9 years old. Put out my first single in 2019. I think I put out my first song that I had written. We put out a couple things before that. I'd signed a record deal with Sony Records in 2020 and put out a couple singles with them, had a top 40 with them. My song Two Lane Airplane was the first single that we put out on Sony and all that, and The Orchard. And I was fortunate enough, like I said, to get that one climbing the charts. And that's kind of what started my career. And then, the TikTok world came about, and I posted a couple covers that I had done, and I actually got permission to remake a couple of them as well. I did Strawberry Wine and Amazed, and they both really helped put me on the map with in the TikTok world and stuff like that. So
Strawberry Wine was great, man. But Amazed gave me goosebumps the way you did it, man. That was good.
well, thank you,
Definitely,
thank you.
Woo!
that was one of my favorites,
Ooh, that was
honestly.
good. I got goosebumps now. Just thinking
That's
about
up
it,
until
man. I goosebump easy.
I'm noticing that, especially when we go on our ghost walks.
Yeah.
You could even mention the ghosts.
Yeah, good stuff gives me goosebumps, man. That's an indicator.
So what
Love
else?
it.
Who's up? Go ahead.
Guys,
I was gonna say. So, you said you started at 9. There was some new information. I didn't know you were actually, signed to. I made the mistake of referring to you as a cover artist, and I, as much as possible, try to apologize for that. Much more. As a DJ, I'm a fan of all music. You actually revitalized my my love for country. I can honestly say that. So
I
I
love
want
it.
to, I guess, what who are your inspirations coming out? Because I noticed in some of your songs there was, a few samples. But who kind of inspired you?
So when I was early on in my career, I had the opportunity to go to a Daryl Worley show, and he had a song. It was titled "Have You Forgotten?" And
Oh man.
whenever that night after the concert, we'd actually got to meet him, and um, it was just that moment changed my life forever. After we left that night, I told my dad, I said, Dad, I want to do that for a living, and he said, yeah, I don't know about that. Like that guy's doing some pretty cool stuff. And a quick story on that: 20 years later to date, I got to open for Daryl and share the stage with him. It was awesome. We
No
were in
way. That's
Texas, and
fantastic.
him and I got to pass back and forth a bottle and share some stories, and I got to tell him about how big of an inspiration he was to me, and it was really cool. It was like a dream come true for me. But Daryl is one of my big influences right now. I mean, honestly, if we're hopping in the truck and running somewhere, the first thing on the playlist is probably going to be Luke Combs.
Yeah, yeah, he's solid, man. Yeah, really like his stuff. Daryl Worley, man. Let's go back to that one real quick. So I served over in Iraq, right? And it must have been about 2002, 2003, and I think that's
Thank you for
about
your
when
service.
yeah, and that's about like when Have You Forgotten came
Yeah.
out, right? So I'm
Yep.
pretty sure just about every single soldier owned a Daryl Worley CD, and I don't even remember what was on the rest of the CD because I could listen to that one over and over and over again, and that just like reminded me why I was there, why we were there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was a true inspiration. I get a lot of patriotism out of you, like especially like we heard a couple licks from your most recent song coming back. We're doing that live for the first time Saturday. You said.
Yes. Yes. The new song. We have a show Saturday in Petrolia, Pennsylvania, at the park. And we're gonna be pulling out the new song. It's gonna be released on Friday. We're releasing a writer's cut version of it, basically, and then we're gonna put something a little more mastered and polished out here in the coming weeks. So it'll be cool. But we're gonna play it live for the first time, well, the second time officially, this coming Saturday in Petrolia.
Yeah, now me as a goosebump magnet, man, me and Bill, we were both sitting here the other night, and we were listening to just that little short you had there, sitting in the truck jamming it, man. I got the goosebumps, but so did he. Like it spoke to me, man. And you being someone who grew up so close to Butler, and gosh dang, you were probably not that far away. You're probably just as far away as we were. Did
Yeah.
that strike a chord? Did that inspire the song?
Yeah. So we were gonna go to the rally. I ended up having a show, and some things changed, and I uh, I had the unfortunate benefit of losing my voice, and just all kind of craziness happened all at the same time. So me and the guys were not able to go to New York that night, and instead of coming home and just unloading, we actually just pulled over at a campsite, and we're like, hey, we're just gonna hang out here for the night, take a night off, relax, kick back, and just really have a fire and hang out. And we did that. Woke up in the morning, and went about our day. We hung out, we were fishing and just relaxing, just doing what we needed to do to kind of get ourselves back in the right headspace. And my dad had called me, and he told me what had happened at the rally, and I was just like, I just stood there. I didn't know what to say. I knew I had a ton of friends there. I had a ton of my family there, and like I said, I was fishing at the time, and I knew that the group that I was with had a lot of family and friends there as well. And I just put the phone down. I was like, hey guys, like I need everybody to call and check on their families, friends, everybody that's around. And when I had told them what happened, everybody was just kind of like lost. Nobody knew what to say. Nobody knew what to do. And we sat pretty quiet that night and didn't really say much. I think we were all in kind of disbelief by what had just happened. And I woke up Sunday, just it was the same thing. It was I couldn't even like function. I couldn't get my bearings to tell anybody what was going on. And we got home, and I uh I just said, hey, I'm going to Nashville. And I had a couple shows lined up for the weekend, but we I I drove through the night, literally. I mean, all night, one night. I drove down, hopped to the studio. My buddy Eric Gunderson from the band Love and Theft. When I called him and told him, he was like, yeah, dude, get down here. I said, I got an idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try it. And he was like, all right, I'm in, let's go. So we had put it together on Wednesday. I think we got to the studio around, I think it was like noon, 1 o'clock, and that around that time. We didn't leave the studio till about midnight after it was all said and done. By the time we got everything put together, and it was just one of those songs that really came together in a couple. Not a couple minutes, but kind of a couple minutes compared to how things sometimes go. It wasn't hard to write that song. It kind of wrote itself. And I think, once people hear the whole version of it, I think they'll kind of like the surprise at the end. I know you guys got to have the whole version.
Unfortunately, I have yet to let him play or let him hear it.
I'm at you, man. I'm at you.
I gotcha. And as he likes to refer to it, it is truly a 4-minute poem. It really is.
Yeah.
We sat here the other night, Gary, and that clip that you had, I wrote down right here in my book, every word to your song.
Oh, thank you.
Because it like that's what I mean by a 4-minute poem. Like I don't always need the music. Like it's the lyrics that speak to me. So I got a very similar feeling about your song that I did when I had heard Daryl Worley in 2002 while I was over in the Sandbox. So it was good. It was patriotic, man, and I
thank you so much.
I'm sure it will continue to be appreciated, man. Even Toby Keith wrote some patriotic stuff, that gives you goosebumps and kind of gives you motivation on why you're doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think songs that speak to us about how we feel that we don't know how to put in words, I think you really nailed it, man. You hit it out of the park. We're really looking forward to hearing.
Agreed.
Well, thank you so much.
Really, man. I'm telling you, man. As a past soldier and stuff like that, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait, man.
Thank you so much. I can't say thank you enough, honestly.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So we actually have, surprisingly, our very first question up here, and I've posted it, and this is from a Robert Ryder. So, Gary, he can you see the comments and everything?
I
I have them
can.
up here.
I can.
So if you thank you, Robert. I mean, good question.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. I'm not a huge country fan. Nice. 90s. I love it. Honestly, the new country rap collaborations, I think it's cool what they're doing. I think it's gonna go a long way. Everybody says country music has kind of made a shift, and I can't say they're wrong, to be honest. It has. Like everything else in the entire entertainment industry, I mean, it has changed. So I think there's still a need for the traditional country, the pop country, all the same kind of music. I think all we're doing is kind of just adding a new.
He'll be back. He kind of that's I mean that's the positive, the fun part about being live.
Yeah. I mean the question is,
Oh, there we go. Sorry, my video closed out.
Country collapse. Yeah, go ahead, Gary. Finish her up.
I think he did.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Some of the notable ones are kind of like Morgan Wallen just recently did one with Post Malone, and he also, wow.
Yeah, with Post Malone. I mean, I like some of them. I mean, some I think they're reaching, but I mean, at this point in the game, like everybody's kind of still running out of new things, and you look to the old to create the new. I can't even remember the first country collab I heard.
The first one for me, I believe he's having internet problems right now, so he'll be back on. There he is. We'll get him back up here.
I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. It kicked me out for a minute.
Sabotaging us. Are we that bad already?
No.
Hey guys, we're going to a tunnel. Like, Gary, we see you.
But I'd say my first country rap collab that I can think of would have been
with Nelly.
Tim. I was just getting ready to say Tim McGraw and Nelly did that one back in the day. Early 2000s.
I mean, and I like that song. I didn't mind it a bit.
And nowadays you got, like I said, I think the biggest collab that you see with country rap would be Morgan Wallen, who's done it with Post Malone now. He's also done it with Little Dirk, and I can't remember the other one with Cowgirls, but
Yeah, and Post is doing stuff with, I mean, Blake, Luke Combs. I mean, I see he's doing stuff with everybody now.
Would you
Good
do
for
it?
him.
that was you beat me to the question. You know, who do you look forward to collabing with someday, and who have you collabed with that really stood out?
So Eric Gunderson and I kind of hit it off pretty well the minute I met him.
From
Them
Love and
guys,
Theft?
yeah, Love and Theft. They kind of early on in my career, they took me under their wing and just kind of showed me what to do and how to do it in the best ways they knew how. And Eric and I have became, I mean, it's a brotherhood, you know. I've had the opportunity to work with him for the last almost 5-6 years now. And we put out 2 songs with Love and Theft, which was awesome. We did Getting It Back and This Bar Makes Me Wanna.
Loved it.
Thank you. And most recently, I just got off the road. I was on the road with Karen Waldrop, who was on season 25 of The Voice, and she was on Team Dan and Shay. So we got to tour around with her and hang out with her and see the country a little bit. It was awesome. So, and her and I have something in the works that we're working on, and I think it'll be cool.
Karen Waldrop.
Yep.
Oh man, I used to watch her when she was just like starting out. She was like by herself on like some little university lawn with a guitar, and she just killed it solo. And man, that's great, man. That'd be a perfect collab for you. She's fantastic.
Yeah, Karen and I, we really get along well, and you know, our voices, we kind of we complement each other well, we say. So
Here we go. We're going to post this one up here for you. You should recognize this individual.
I love Alex. He's my dude.
I'm sure at some point he'll want to get on here, and we'll open it up here in about 15 more minutes, 20 minutes. We'll give people a chance. That way they can, like I said,
I want my Gary Burke time first.
if you,
What about my time?
I love it.
you know,
I
the
love
other
it.
night. So when you first came on the other night, I told Steve we should have had a clicker for how many times he said Gary Burke. I hear you, Gary Burke. I'm going to see you. You're going to see me 6'9", Gary Burke. You're going to. I think you're up to where are we at now? 10? Actually, you're not doing too bad. I like it, dude. This is fun. But
so that the bar song, This Bar Makes Me Wanna. Did you have that bar out there in Chicora Butler?
Yeah,
Back
yeah,
to that.
actually. So the story I tell behind this song is always it's always the same because it's exactly like I can't even make this up how it happened. And so there's a little bar in North Washington. It's called the Beer Garden Sports Bar and Grill. I've played lots of shows there. We do a lot of great events there. That bar is just awesome. But my dad and I will go there for lunch, like when I'm home and hanging out, and he'll be like, "Hey, let's grab lunch." What never fails that I start there at noon. I'm like, you know, walking out there. I'm like, "Hey, honey, I'm going to get lunch with Dad. I'll be back in 2 hours. You know, see you soon." Well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock rolls around, and you can imagine I'm not home. So I was sitting at the bar one night, and I looked at the bartender. Her name's Lindsay, and I said, "You know, Lindsay, this bar just makes me want to drink." And she said, "Hey," and I was like, "Hey, that's a great idea. I'm taking that to Nashville." And you know, then the song became, yeah, it's definitely one of those songs that it's a good time. It's all about a party. You know, I've actually been. Matter of fact, I got it right up here. The Mustang. The Mustang reminds me so much of my hometown bar. It's great. You know, I even, like I said, I put them up here on the wall. So
If I'm not mistaken, you and I met at the Mustang, didn't we?
yes, I was playing a show, and yeah, it rained.
It rained.
Miserably.
Still put on a hell of a good show, though.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, everybody stood out in the rain, but man, I remember that rain coming and it just did not stop.
So where have you? What's been some notable places you've played at? what's been the ones that stood out the most?
Honestly, it's not where I play, it's who I play with. Because in what I'm doing, it doesn't matter to me whether I'm playing in a venue for 5 people or 5,000. It's the same show regardless, because it's me getting to take that time, from those people that are in the crowd, and just let them forget about what they're going through in their life. You don't know, they might be having a bad day because they lost someone important to them. They might, you just don't know. And they came to the show to forget about that. They didn't come to the show to, just sit there and be like, "Oh, what's up?" So it doesn't matter to me whether there's what the venue is, what the venue size is. I mean, I've had the opportunity to play. Lagomar Live in Texas was by far, hands down, one of the most coolest things I've ever got to do. It was whenever I actually got to open for Daryl. Um, it was a floating stage in I think a 25 million gallon lagoon.
Wow.
It was clear water, sand, but it was in the middle of where were we? Galveston, Texas, or Texas City, Texas. And I mean, to go down a rabbit hole on that. So we had loaded up a tour bus in Nashville, and we took the bus from Nashville to Texas. On the way down, our air conditioner quit working. We got to Texas. It was 114 degrees when we stepped outside.
Which was a cool day
So
in Texas.
yeah, right. So none of us were ready. We were not used to the heat. So we're all hiding in the green room. Everything's fine. Well, then the green room air conditioner quit working at the same time. It was like we were just not meant to have air conditioning. So it was one of those hot, miserable days. But man, I tell you, when we got to go out onto the stage, like for the actual performance, when we got to go float in the middle of this lagoon and have people swimming up to us, that by far is probably one of the coolest gigs that I've ever got to play.
So just to let everybody know, we've hit the 30-minute mark and we have quite a few people watching. We're on here with Gary Burk the third, up and coming country superstar from our own little town of Shakora out here. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments over here, and we'll make sure in the comments. But
I got questions.
I got questions.
I got questions.
Oh,
All right, so
he's got questions.
all right, so my number 2 song, because I feel like my number 1 Gary Burke song is going to be the new one coming out this weekend, Take It Back. However, the one that spoke to me the most was How I'm Getting Over You. Now, you wrote that, and I feel like a lot of these songs are coming from like you get inspired, and like when you get inspired, you're writing a song.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting from listening to all your music. So How I'm Getting Over You. Did somebody dump you and you wrote a song?
No. So actually, Guess I Don't's my breakup song. How I'm Getting Over You was written about my best friend. He lost his life in a car accident 3 years ago now. And 3 years ago now. And it just was one of those things that, I mean, that's stuff that we used to do. We used to go fishing. I talk about, taking trips, ripping lips. I mean, him and I would just, we had a friend group growing up that it'd be midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and we'd be like, hey, you want to go drive 150, 200 miles to Erie or the beach, or it didn't matter. And he was always my buddy that would be like, yep, grabbing the fishing poles, we're out of here. So after he passed away, it shook me for quite a minute, and I kept trying to bury it and just kind of get through it. And I was in the middle of touring, and I had a crazy schedule, and it never lined up where I had 5 minutes to sit down and actually write the song. And I hadn't written a song in several months, and I got to Nashville, got in a writing session, and what everybody asked, what do you got on your mind? And I started talking about my buddy Matt, and yeah, that was it was all based on stuff that him and I used to do. We used to go fishing and take trips, and You know, we always said we were checking off a bucket list one at a time. So, but you know, now he's passed on, and I know he's still front row at most every one of my shows. So
Oh, I'm sure he is, man. No. That song was powerful, man. I was like,
thank you.
you know, we've all been through it. You know what I mean? Again, you're touching ears and grabbing hearts, man, with your lyrics, and
Well, thank
I
you.
love them. I appreciate it, man.
Well, thank you.
You speak to me when you sing, Gary Burke.
So
Thank you.
on that note, for those of you that got to hear his the one that was actually my personal favorite, Free Bird Kiss, how do we feel about hearing this? How I'm getting over you? You good with that, brother?
Yeah, I'm good with it. And this song charted at number 11 on the country streaming charts.
Well, I tell you what, let's show them why.
That's good.
How the hell do we end up here? Everything good seems to disappear. Life comes at you fast and then it's gone. I wish that we'd have one more night. Rewind the hands of time. Forget that we ever had to say goodbye.
Yeah, well,
Life ain't fair, man, don't you know? We're one mistake from starting over. It don't matter where we go, the other side is creeping closer. So here goes another night, getting high, trying not to lose my mind, dreaming about them good old days. Taking trips, ripping lips, checking off a bucket list. Some things ain't gonna change. We're burning up in back roads, cooler in the console, chasing down a neon road. Another night, getting high, doing what we used to do. Yeah, that's how I'm getting over you. 5 years feels like yesterday. In this case, the beer don't numb the pain, 'cause I'll take you with me everywhere I go. Driving around this empty truck, trying to get my mind unstuck. Moving on just makes me feel alone. Life ain't fair, I know you know. The other side's just creeping closer. Not sure how it works up there, but down here we still need some closure. So here goes another night, getting high, trying not to lose my mind, dreaming about them good old days. Taking trips, ripping lips, checking off a bucket list. Some things ain't gonna change. We're burning up in back roads, cooler in the console, chasing down a neon road. Another night, getting high, doing what we used to do. Yeah, that's how I'm getting over you. Yeah, that's how I'm getting over you. Yeah, that's how I'm getting over you. Life ain't fair, I know you know. The other side's just creeping closer. Not sure how it works up there, but down here we still need some closure. So here goes another night, getting high, trying not to lose my mind, dreaming about them good old days. Taking trips, ripping lips, checking off a bucket list. Some things ain't gonna change. We're burning up in back roads, cooler in the console, chasing down a neon road. Another night, getting high, doing what we used to do. Yeah, that's how I'm getting over you. Yeah, that's how I'm getting over you. Yeah, that's how I'm getting over you.
and there you go. That was Mr. Gary Burke. You know, that's dude, good stuff. And in case you guys are wondering, I posted right here in the middle of the screen his upcoming tour dates. And is that up to date? And make sure I didn't do the wrong ones.
No, you're good. The only thing that's wrong is we did get a reschedule on Blackstone Smokehouse. We're working on a reschedule date for that. They had a scheduling issue on their end, and it's not going to work out. But we're working on a reschedule, and we'll have that soon. And we're going to be announcing tomorrow that August 17th, we are doing Butler's Freedom Revival. It's not red, it's not blue, it's red, white, and blue. So that's going to be August 17th at the Bonnie Brook Clubhouse. I'm pretty excited about that one. It's gonna be a cool time. I think we need something to just bring us back together.
What do we got here? Alex, sounds good. Line. I
Thanks,
think you got a
Alex.
fan of Mr. Alex.
Oh, Alex is
Alex
front
is-
row.
Alex is front row.
Front row in a red, white, and blue bikini top.
You actually had a very good question, Steve, and I would like for you to go ahead and
Which one? I got a list of questions for Gary Burke.
Freebird's Kiss.
Oh,
There's a lyric in this Freebird's Kiss.
we debated this. So 14 minutes.
Yeah.
Where we get 14? Where we get a 14-minute kiss from?
Well,
I mean, it's so the whole joke behind it is everybody always like makes the wisecrack that Freebird is a 14-minute song, and the solo alone is the 14 minutes. So
Right,
it's
right.
like, you know, we have the 14 minutes of backseat bliss. I mean, I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, but
I went through and I found a 14-minute live Freebird. But like we and Bill, we were breaking down all your songs the other night, and we were trying to find the mean, median, and mode of how long Freebird was. Like we've had
yeah,
so many different renditions, and we did have a 14, so we're like, all right, Gary Burke's accurate. Like, so
I tried.
yeah,
Yeah.
you picked the longest one for sure, though, man. Like it does exist.
It could have been worse. I mean, he could have went with Inagata Davida. I mean, honestly,
Right.
Yeah.
that's a 17-minute song.
I was gonna say, isn't that 17 minutes?
Oh, listen to this. Oh, okay. So I was about to give some props out to one of our guys here. He must be on a break on his show. Allow me to show this one. So, you know, do you really want to be on a show with somebody that can't even spell music properly?
I mean, he didn't spell music right. Hey, it's all right. I can't spell either.
But to be fair,
Good music is good music.
we'll give a quick shout out to our boys over there at the Nonsensical Network. My friend Glick is the one that, you know, he spent almost an hour before we did, you know, this today, making or helping me to make sure that we had all these little cool new features that we're doing tonight down pat. So shout out to you. You can have that last one, but we all can tell who the real music show is tonight. Sorry, brother. Love you, but
So when you tour, Gary, like you talk about going to Nashville a lot and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that where you do most of your recording?
Pretty much all of it. I mean, I do some of it here at home. I have a home studio here, that I'm working on. So I just moved in the last, 6 months or so. So I'm in the process of getting my studio all set back up. But yeah, for the most part, I do everything in Nashville now.
So why Nashville? Like what makes Nashville like the country emporium?
It's just one of those things that, I mean, most of my friends in the business that, I write with and I do everything with pretty much anymore are all kind of in that area. So for me, it's not a matter of like favoritism or anything. It's just kind of where I started and kind of where I guess I keep going now.
well, if you I don't know if you noticed, you know, our last little collab the other night, you had made the comment how, you know, it's every country guy's, you know, artist dream to play the Grand Ole Opry. So I made sure our
Yes.
backdrop is the actual Grand Ole Opry stage. So there you go,
love
brother.
it. I love it. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, someday I'm gonna get to step into that circle. I can't wait.
So I was looking at some of your videos too, man. So
Uh-oh.
I always wanted to be in a music video. Like I will be like the front guy, like just have me sitting at a bar or something like that, you know, with a beer.
Yeah.
So I watched your one video, I'm Not Ready.
Yes.
How is it to make a music video, to be in a music video, especially the center?
So we filmed that in the middle of probably one of the coldest days ever. I swear it was cold. And in the beginning of it, we're filming in a barn and there's no heat in the barn. So in parts of it, you can see my breath coming out of my mouth. Like that's how cold it was. And in
Probably
between
getting colder.
takes, I would I would huddle up in the corner with a jacket on, and the camera crew would be like, "All right, we're getting ready. Everything's getting set. All right, we're ready." And I'd run over, grab my guitar, hurry up, and film the part we needed to film, and then go back to getting warm again. And then the end part of it, I think we filmed for like 14 hours that day. We started first thing in the morning and went till pretty late. It probably should have been a more than a 1 day shoot, but we crammed it all into 1 day. And the people that were part of it were awesome. I couldn't thank them enough. All the extras that were there. It was in the middle of an insane time in our life, which nobody wants to talk about, the C word. So it was during all of that, so we had to play by the rules on absolutely everything. And it I think that's what made it take so long, to be honest. But I mean, it worked out great. It was a lot of fun. It's definitely very interesting to kind of see everybody, all these cameras, and the biggest thing is to act like they're not there. Well, it's kind of hard when they're right in your face to be like, no, they're not there.
Right. So when you're all right. So if I was in a music video and I was Gary Burke, all right. So are they like lightly playing like the song in the background and you're lip syncing it, or are you like still like actually singing it? Like,
It just depends. Sometimes, like, I've done it both ways now. I've done it where it was just kind of overlaid, and I've done it live and had it brought in. And it's honestly just preference of the camera guy.
yeah, like this bar makes me wanna. That was probably my favorite video.
Thank you.
That was really good. Like I kind of like wanted to go to a bar after I watched that. I was like, it's like, well, we need to go.
Alex,
Yeah,
that's the whole point of having an interview where we're getting all the information. So Alex puts on there, he can't give away all his secrets. Sure, he can. That's half the fun.
Yeah, no. Gary
Part of
Burke's out there
interviews.
making your core proud, man.
Oh, we're up to 15. I've been keeping track since then.
He's killing him, man. So, what's life on it? So, how do you travel? How do you get national? Are you on tour buses yet, or do you guys?
It just depends. I've been on tour buses. Let me think. Last summer, I got a new RV. I got a Class C RV. Nothing crazy. I pull my trailer behind it. I can still pull it into a McDonald's or a Buc-ee's late at night. But it's just one of those. I've been on the tour buses. They're great. They're awesome. They're fancy, but they're not necessary all the time. It's just, unless we're going to Texas or somewhere far, typically I take my RV. And it's a what is it, 2022 Sunseeker, so I love it. It's
Right.
got bunks and everything in it, so it keeps us safe going down the road.
So I mean, you don't travel alone, you don't play alone, but so you got other guys in the band, other gals in the band, maybe.
Yeah, typically we got six.
Where do we know them from?
So I typically have 6 to 7 people that travel with me now. I got my tour manager, which is Garrett Kimmel. He is actually a police officer in Springdale full time, and part time he helps me out on the road. I have my drummer, which is Christian Labirte. He's from Pittsburgh. He's the new guy in the band this year. We haven't really got to know him a whole lot yet, but we're learning things every week. Christian, if you watch this, I'm on to you. No, I'm teasing, but he's our new guy, but we love him. He's been kicking the skins for a while, and he plays with a lot of different organizations and does a lot of different stuff in Pittsburgh. Evan Reichenfeld has been with me for, I think this is the 4th year he's played with me now. He's the bass player, does the backup vocals. And Andy Hughes, this is his 3rd year with me. And it's, he's my partner in crime on the guitar. He keeps the leads flowing. The dude does things with a guitar that I don't think I've ever seen a human being do. And it's funny because on the road we have Christian, who's quiet so far. Evan's pretty quiet too. We always make fun of Evan because he loves fruit. That's what he eats. So we'll be on the road and he'll come out of the bus with like fruit and stuff. And then there comes Andy in the background and he'll play Fireball on his phone and walk out with shots of Fireball. Like, come on, guys, it's time to go. So my crew is very different, but they're all awesome. I love them all. I couldn't do it without him. It just I I couldn't do it without him. Garrett, he is pretty reserved. I mean, he's a cop, so he kind of he's pretty straightforward dude. And but when we're not on the road and we have 5 minutes to breathe and hang out, we all have our own kind of quirks, but it's crazy how it works together.
So who's hammering it out there at the Freebirds?
What's that?
Who's hammering it out on the electric at the end of Freebird's case?
That one was me.
I think he's asking who your guitarist is.
Yeah, the guy on the electric.
Yeah, that one was me. We did all that in the studio.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, no, there's real talent, man. It sounds like you guys meshed together real well, man. You got a hell of a crew.
Thank you. Beth, I love you. Beth and Stormy have been coming to every one of my shows lately, and I just seen she commented on the post and she dropped a comment in the comment section. But she's been coming to all the shows, and I swear every time Beth comes, she comes with more and more people. So thank you for coming and loving us, Beth.
Oh, you're gonna get a load of me, Gary Burk, dude. I'm 6'9", man. I'm gonna be right there in front of the stage.
I know. I remember you're gonna be the tall guy at the regatta.
Brother.
The tall guy at the regatta. I remember.
The tall guy at the regatta.
I'll be there.
Can't wait.
Me and Alex in our red, white, and blue bikini tops.
And
Yes.
apparently, with Alex, there's going to be Speedos involved. I can
Whoa.
show that message.
Yeah, please do.
So you brought it up a little bit ago, the touring. What are some, especially for some of those out here watching right now that want to get into, the music biz, there is the fame, the money, the fun. What's some of the challenges though that, you kind of didn't see coming? What really kind of
You don't sleep. I mean, the hardest part of like everything that we do is you're running when you're on the road, you're burning at both ends of the stick here. You're trying to make sure you're putting on the best shows possible while still balancing everything and trying to kind of keep things together.
We've got another question here.
Oldest, most famous person.
This comes from Kay. Kay's one of our
Trying to
diehard,
think.
yeah, way to put it.
I'm trying to think. The oldest one.
Don't
Oh
say
gosh,
me.
No,
he'd
you
be so mad at. He'd probably be really mad at me for saying this, but well, actually, now, oh my, the oldest would probably be the guys from the band Alabama. When I was younger, I had the opportunity to go to Fort Payne, Alabama, and hang out with Jeff Cook, which rest in peace. He's the guitar player for Alabama, and David Hammonds, who was the drummer for Loretta Lynn. But we got to meet Teddy, who was one of the singers, and he was the bass player. And Randy was not feeling good, so we didn't get to hang out with him. But those would probably be the most famous older guys that I've ever got to meet. Daryl Worley, Mark Wills, all those guys have been great to me as well. So
Now I'm getting it. Like just listening to like all those lyrics I wrote down, man. I got to keep going back to this crap. No, it is so good, man. I wrote your lyrics down just because they spoke to me, man. So
awesome.
So what are your thoughts on America, man? Without we don't touch the political vibe around here, but like I mean, we all have.
This
like,
is my vibe. Wait, let's figure it out. We the people.
I like
That's
it.
what I'm feeling.
Mhm.
It's not
I
red.
like
It's not blue. It's we the people now, and it's
We-
time we get back to that.
Yeah, we were trying to think about that the other day, and like we'll sit around here, we'll drink beers and stuff, and the more we drink, we start coming out with like random questions. Like, man, why didn't I think of that before? And it's like, I was thinking, I said to Bill, I said, when's the last time like you felt united? Like, I don't want to fight with my neighbor. I don't want to argue. I don't want us to have different signs on our front yard,
Yeah,
Like,
and
it
and
doesn't
that's
matter to me.
and that's how I am. Like I don't. So I never get involved in politics ever. I've been asked to play several events where politics are involved, and I just don't get involved in it. And even this past week, whenever all the craziness happened in Butler, I was hesitant to even post anything, and I was like, you know what? It's not about politics. It's my home, and that was kind of a huge turning point for me, where I was like, you know what? It's not about politics anymore. This has nothing to do with red or blue. It really doesn't. We're all people, we're all human beings. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, what who you vote for. It doesn't. It's not going to change the fact that I still, after the show, I'm going to have a beer with you or hang out with you, or it's not going to change anything, even if you're my neighbor. Like, hey, if you don't agree with my views, great. That's part of life. We're allowed to not agree. But to go to the craziness is just, it's insane, Come together, know that you're just not going to agree, and move on.
To me, man, at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to vote on either side of the aisle. Like, I'm going to vote like I'm an American, man. You know what? Number one, I'm happy as hell. I can everybody can vote. We can do it.
Yeah,
But you know what? I can do it. I can do it freely, your way or my way. But at the end of the day, we're all American, and that's how we should stand.
I agree. I agree 100%.
And your lyrics smacked the balls off the wall, man. The other day, man. I
Thank
cannot
you.
wait for this to drop, man. Gary Burke, take it back.
It sucks.
Dropping Friday, and he's going live with it on Saturday.
Yep.
Down at Petroleum.
So that's how it's worked. We were wondering about that. You said Saturday, but yet we've seen a Friday date. So the song is dropping Friday, and then you'll go live with it for the first time on Saturday, or
So the song releases on streaming platforms on Friday, and then on Saturday we're gonna play it live at the show. So if anybody's really interested in seeing that one happen live, come out to the show. It's gonna be a good time. My friend Caleb Beatner's kicking off the show at 6 o'clock, and you can't miss us. We're right in the center of the town.
of Petrolia.
Yep,
And then after you're done, you can swing by the old oil boom and have a beer with your favorite DJ.
the old boom saloon.
Man, the boom would go. The boom would go bat crazy.
Yeah, it couldn't handle that much awesomeness.
So we've done a couple shows at Boom. A couple years ago we did four shows in one night. I was celebrating the release of my new single, Two Lane Airplane, I believe. But we did 4 bars in one night. We started at the Rock House in Slippery Rock, went to the Beer Garden in North Washington, Otto's Tavern in Emilton, and we finished at Oil Boom. And when we got to Oil Boom, there was a line of cars behind the bus. I had a big old fancy bus at that time. And when we pulled into Oil Boom, everybody was like, oh, snap. Dude, that place was insane. Like, there was so many people that were there, but we had a blast. I mean, and it was just me and I was playing guitar, and I had a guy on a cajon that was just, keeping a beat basically. And we showed up, played an acoustic show, and had fun. But it was awesome.
Now, as somebody that plays me, obviously I'm not in a band, but I do find that like certain places are more of a pain in the ass to play because you have to adjust. What challenge do you find on stage that really kind of stand out? What situations do you come across that make it hard to, other than rain?
I mean, weather's always a big one, obviously. That's big for anybody. Um, Power issues. I mean, I swear it doesn't matter where we go. It there's some sort of power issue, and I don't know if it's just me. Like, I don't know if it's just my luck or what the deal is, but there's always some sort of power issue somewhere. But that's really the only issue I ever have. But it's crazy because right before the show, the power issue is always gone, and we have everything solid. So
I know the first time I got to meet you guys, I was actually talking to your sound guy, your roadie guy, and
yeah,
we were comparing notes and everything, and he actually gave me some, pretty good tips. And I got to thinking back on that, and I'm like, you know what, that you got a solid crew behind you. You really do. And
Actually, that day you met me, we had power issues, and I'll never forget it because I got the living crap shocked out of me.
you were telling me about that. So tell this story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we're setting up. I knew it was gonna rain. I saw it coming. I was like, we're getting wet tonight. I know this is happening. It's okay. I'm just gonna move on and accept it. Well, I plugged in our 220 box to the venue's power source, and my mixer case was sitting next to the stage, and I knelt down. I had my hand on my mixer case on the top of it, and I had shorts on. And the minute my knee hit the ground, it zapped me as hard, like just straight electric whack. And I was like, "What in the world is going on?" So that immediately just was like, freaking power issues. Here we go again. Call my
That's
sound guy over, and I'm like, "Dude, I'm getting zapped off this box." And he's like, "No, you're not. Grow up." And I was like, "Okay." So he did it, like he tried it, and he was like, "See, I didn't get shocked." I'm like, "Yeah, pull your pant leg up and touch the ground." And as soon as he pulled his shorts up, he touched it, and he was like, "Whoa!" There was a glow. That's how whatever power was running through there. But that's just the craziness that happens at venues, and that's okay. We're pretty much used to it. I mean, my sound engineer is a licensed electrician now, so he he pretty much knows how to handle all those situations now, and he did. I mean, he had to handle that day pretty quickly.
Well, look at it this way. You've made the list with other famous guys now that have almost like, who was it? Not Paul Stanley, but one of the members of Kiss. He almost electrocuted himself. That's happened. Metallica, Bon Jovi. Dude,
I think it's
congrats.
honestly
You
happened to
made it
everybody.
top without even knowing it.
You're not like it. That's one of those things. You're not a singer until you've touched a microphone that had electric running through it. Like that's when you get zapped right on the tip of your lip. Oh man, it's
Oh, I
a new kind of pain.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Another song I want to talk to you about, man. I'm telling you, man, I've been listening to your stuff like crazy since Bill got me
Thank
into
you.
it.
Thank you.
13 Soldiers.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
There we go.
that's a throwback. After the whole deal when we were pulling out of Iraq and everything that was going on, excuse me, over there, and we lost those 13 brave service members. Same situation, man. I couldn't sleep. I called my dad. He come over to hang out, and I was like, "Dude, I got to write a song about this. Like, it's not sitting well." And as a songwriter, that's how I relate to people. That's how I express my feelings. Is I just sit down and write a song. I wrote a song last night that it probably will never hit the airwaves. And that was one of those songs. 13 Soldiers was one of those songs that I really didn't think it would ever make it anywhere. I just wrote it kind of how I felt about it that night, and we put it out like 2 weeks later. And thankfully, I had a great night or a great reaction to that, and it turned out pretty much just as good as I could have hoped for it to, honestly.
It was good. So me and Bill, we were talking the other night, and I don't know, Gary Burke. I don't know where the hell we came up with this. We were trying to like promote the upcoming thing, and he said something along the lines of, "Yeah, another click."
Another click. I knew I was
Okay,
waiting for him to
it's
say
already here. It's clicked every time. We're up to 18. No bullshit.
He said something
it.
of, I want you guys to get on there and have another taste of Gary Burke. So we're like, that would be a great song for Gary Burke to write. It's called "The Taste of You."
The taste of you.
The Taste. I don't know another song. I know all sorts of music, but I don't know a song that was ever called "The Taste of You."
I like it.
I was literally hoping we were talking, and I know obviously it would have been really hard to do, not without being in the same room. We actually were talking about wanting to do a challenge to you because some of the songs you've done, as a musician, we'd actually come up with a few songs. Both of us would have been interested in knowing if he had thrown out like Britney Spears, "Baby One More Time," just to see you do a country version on the spot.
Oh my.
And then I had to double down on that, and I said he'd have to do Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On."
Dude, I've done that song before,
Are you
actually.
kidding?
Yeah. I actually have done that. So my mom when I was growing up was a huge fan of Titanic. So I mean that movie was on in my house at least once, if not twice a week sometimes. And so whenever I was first getting started into music, first learning how to play guitar, I would always listen to that song and be like, I can play that on guitar. And it wasn't until I was way older, but I was like, hey mom, look at this. And but yeah, so I do actually know that one.
Is there by any chance there is a recording of that out there? Because I will dig until I find it, just for the fun of it.
I think I've managed to keep that one off of any social medias.
It's not on the radar.
If it's the
Yeah,
web, it's
I'm pretty sure that's one of those ones. Like I've probably been caught doing some crazy stuff at shows. I mean, I've done Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber. I mean, it's just people, because you always get that one person, and Bill, you know this. You always get that one person that throws out something completely off the wall, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call your bluff. You said it, so now I'm gonna do it. But but no, that is one that I've never actually, I don't think, done on camera.
What's worse when you have, like, for a DJ, when you have a packed dance floor, there's an awesome vibe going, and there's always that one person that'll come over. Like, we'll be in the middle of, like, everybody's dancing to the hip hop, they're, the dance stuff, the good stuff,
Yeah.
and they'll come over and they'll want to hear something crazy like the Carpenters. Or they'll come up with some obscure that I've never heard of before, like Snack the Ripper.
Yeah.
And you know right off that it's going to be
If you've
a
never heard of
film.
it, chances are, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, I'm in the same boat. If you haven't heard of my song, you probably don't know it, and that's okay. I hope you do know it someday.
Well, if it's any consolation on that one, I have actually downloaded quite a few of your songs, and I've been actually playing them out and about and kind of introducing people. And you still have a following here in Mercer. There's been quite a few people wanting you to come back.
Yeah, I need to do a show up there. It's been a couple years since we've made it to Mercer. We did something in Stoneboro a couple weeks ago, and I tell you, we were at Pub 76, and there was a couple hundred people there. It was an awesome time. I got to hang out with, I mean, even some of my old teachers came to see me from high school.
But in case everybody, because we keep getting more and more people on here. We are on here with Gary Burk III, up and coming country star. If you have a question, feel free to put it in the comments over here, and we'll make sure to get on there, and it will be answered. And we're actually getting pretty close to where I will throw the link out there, and we'll let people get on here live and ask you face to face, kind of like a meet and greet, so to say.
Awesome.
But until that point comes up,
little Q&A.
I'm still waiting. One of the things I've been trying to do for the past 2 days, obviously I met my wife down in Tennessee. I lived there for over 15 years, and it was my third time living there, actually. So I guess collectively I've lived in Tennessee for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
I actually have some contacts down there, and I was really hoping it would have worked out. And I'm waiting to see if they're going to come on here. Of course, I mean, it's not going to show us everybody that's watching. I was trying to get some of the local radio guys to come on here.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of the country, and try and get that. And the one I'm really shooting for, there is a huge country club, like country dance club in Knoxville, Tennessee, called Cotton Eye Joe.
Nice. And
they've gone from just being like a regular dance club. Now they have a huge following, and actually I'm waiting for a response. I sent them a message. I've talked to them before. I'm still waiting for them to get back to me. So hopefully before, we're all said and done tonight, they'll be on here. And, for you to come out here and do this with us, I mean, this has been a blast. Our way of saying thank you is trying to get as much exposure out there as possible, because like I said, personally, I mean, I'm like Rob, our guy Robert, who was on here a little bit ago. I'm not the biggest country fan, at least not of today's stuff, but I tell you what, your stuff, I'm it fell right in line with the stuff that I listen to country wise.
Cool,
So,
man.
dude,
Cool, man. Thank you.
I want to say thank you for coming on here, and I hope we haven't shit the bed too much tonight on this.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
dude, this has been a blast, and thank you guys so much for having me. I love doing stuff like this. It gives me a way to interact with people, and it's always great to kind of hear the backstory on some of the stuff too.
yeah. I mean, you're interacting with people in your lyrics, man. So what's next?
Hang on.
Oh my, we're gonna finish out this summer. We've got lots of recording time, planned out. Has Froggy played? Get back.
Sorry, I hit that early. Didn't mean to do that.
No, you're good.
That was my
You're
fault.
good.
I cut my boy off here on a question, and you in the answer. I'm not using my mouse. I'm on a touchpad.
Oh, I got you. So back to the what's next for me, honestly, is just touring. Connecting with as many fans as possible. We're gearing up for this next release. We have a couple more releases planned for this year, and just keep on grinding and playing these shows. So I can't wait.
So we never asked you how old are you?
I'm 30.
Oh my God, you're a puppy.
Wow.
I'm 30.
No, but you know what? You're a puppy, and your words speak out to a 44-year-old. But you spoke out to me already in your song 20
thank
years
you.
ago. So
Thank
you
you.
know,
Thank
age
you.
is just a number at the end of the day.
It truly is. Beth,
Yeah. Where were you in 2002, man? I could have used your lyrics.
I'm sorry. No, Froggy has not played it yet. Once it releases, we have a press release that's going to go out to the radio stations on Friday morning, and hopefully we'll get some stations to pick it up. The biggest thing is going to be, calling stations and requesting it.
And you guys have to do that.
Thanks, Alex. Love you, bro.
I had to make sure I get him on there. I almost want to go ahead and say, you know what? Since him and Maddie apparently are both on here. How do you guys feel about throwing the invite out and let's see how many people actually want to join in live and actually get to do a face to face with Gary Burk III. There, that's the 5th time for me. How many? Say it one time. Hit the mark. 20.
I haven't said it one time yet.
I picked on him and now he hasn't said it.
He refuses to say it now. So I will go ahead. I'm going to post the link. I think we've hit a point now where
Awesome. Yeah.
I would like to invite everybody that's watching to join us live. We'll go ahead and do this.
You don't have to join with I think you can just join with audio too. You don't have to do video.
I think I'm not 100% on how that works.
I don't know either. I just seen it as an option whenever I was coming in.
Yeah, we're doing a lot better.
I think there's a way, and with Glick being on here, he just now popped back in. So, is there a way we can do this just audio to where people can go ahead and talk to Gary here, and they don't have to get on video? So we'll go ahead and throw that out. And the other thing is, I mean, if you want to join us, dude, I tell you what, we get Glick on here, you're in for a whole new world.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, you put me on Gary stuff, Gary. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's only been about 2 weeks because I started going out in Petrolia, and then Bill played your song. I was like, man, yeah, that's good. He played the Freebird's Kiss, and everybody down there, they're like, oh man, you got to go down and check him out, man. Dude, I'm about to be a roadie.
I'm down, man. I'm down.
It is good. It is good. I've gone through your Christmas stuff, the shoes.
The Christmas shoes, yep.
Yeah, I've been through them all, man. All your songs are dynamite, man. Like I will tell you, I'll be the first to tell you if one of your songs weren't up to Steve snuff. Yeah. I got none, man. I got none. And you know what? I kind of look for a reason. I'm like, well, maybe this one, could be better. No, I got none, dude. None.
Well, thank you so much.
So you got more stuff coming out. You guys are obviously, writing and things like that. You ever think you're gonna go with a full album yet?
So honestly, right now, I mean, I think I have 12 or 14 of my own songs. They aren't all released. Some, unreleased. Some that are kind of just sitting on a shelf, waiting to maybe find a place in an album. I haven't really been set on releasing an album, to be honest with you, because I feel like the singles are more personal and it's easier for me to relate to my fan base on a one-on-one level if I'm doing it one song at a time. I think if I put it all on an album, it would just be too much for like not only my fans but me as well, because then I can't relate. Right now somebody will come up to me and be like, "Hey, that new song you put out, let's use How I'm Getting Over You, for example. Really, it hit me hard. And I can relate to that because it's like, that's the song that I'm pushing right now. That's the one that I'm hitting hard. So I know how I feel with that. And, we just, that's kind of where I've landed with it. And I've thought about doing albums. It's just not been on the priority list yet.
Well, I think times have changed a little bit. Like I can't tell you the last time like I bought like a full CD or like I purchased a full album.
I don't think anybody buys CDs anymore.
Yeah, like
It's
you go
so
on,
few and far between. I mean,
you go on your
people buy
iTunes
them.
and you just buy the song.
How about
Yeah.
vinyl? Vinyl's making a comeback.
I know.
I
I'm trying to get some
first
vinyl
one.
pressed.
Oh,
I'm
There we
working on
go.
getting vinyl pressed.
that's man. Ooh,
I seen Beth's comment. Beth, we're working on merch for it. It might be available this Saturday at the show. I can't confirm that or deny that.
oh man.
As much as I like what you said about just doing the singles, personally, I'm looking forward to your first album drop, dude. I want to hear,
Thanks.
everybody hears the singles. You hear what's on the radios, and I mean, is there another part of you that's kind of worried you might be a one-hit wonder? Because when you do a single and then come out with an album, a lot of times a single will take off so much that, I mean, there's been so many
for
bands.
sure. For sure. I mean, that's always a fear, but honestly, like, to me, this wasn't ever about the money or any of that side of it. So to be a one hit wonder is kind of just somebody that hits the top and disappears. It wouldn't matter to me. Luke Combs said it best. If I wasn't doing this, I'd still be doing this. So um it so as far as a one hit wonder, so to say, I don't worry about that just because I know that my fan base and my family is going to support what I'm doing regardless. And, but that just is who I am. I've always been true to who I am. I mean, I have bad days just like everybody else. And, if anybody's caught me on a bad day, I'm sorry. It catch me on a good day, and I promise it's way different. Um, I'll be your best friend. Poor Bill here has got to see me as a grumpy little guy after getting
I've
electrocuted in
alluded
shop.
to it, but I was trying to avoid that. So it's a funny story. It really is.
It is a funny
And that
story.
was honestly a shit day, and it was one of those
It was just
situations.
Yeah, it was just one of those days, but it goes to show, like, artists have bad days, and I hear that a lot where people will be like, "Oh, so and so, they were mean," and I'm like, "Listen, you don't know what they were going through that day. Did they get electrocuted? Did it rain and ruin a bunch of their gear? What happened leading up to that moment that it flipped? Because I promise you, artists are not rude."
Just to summarize, so people kind of get it. I was actually security at the place he was playing. We'll leave the name out where he was playing,
Yeah.
but he did a show. I happened to be security. I started. I think you were at the tail end of your show. I think I caught the last maybe half hour. And the establishment, it was time to not be as open as what they were, is the best way to put it. And there's a situation where, I was just, at the time he didn't know I was just doing my job. He was already pissed off. And let's call a spade a spade. I mean, it was like no pun intended, it was the perfect storm.
It was the worst thing that could have possibly happened at that moment. And it was just like, all I wanted to do was get to the bus and we were carrying alcohol or something out, and you were like, "Hey, you can't take that out," and I'm like, "I'm just going to the bus."
Is
And
this
you
going to
were
be a
like,
problem?
"Yeah," I was like, I don't even remember exactly. Is this gonna be a problem or something like that? And I was like, I don't want to I don't want to have this argument. I'm just going around the corner, and but we got to reconnect several months later, and I mean, we hit it off really
And
good.
here we
So,
are. Yeah.
and here we
Dude.
are.
So,
So
and you know what? Honestly, it's situations like that make for a good story.
yeah,
But, dude, honestly, I mean, like you said, it just goes to shows. I mean, even the best of people have fucking bad
bad
days, and
days.
you just kind of, oh god, I just draw. Yep, there it is, the first F bomb, and that was by me.
That never happens.
Mhm.
Ever.
But so if there's any kids, I do apologize. We do try and post it for the most part. These aren't kid friendly.
I got a couple of random questions for Gary Burke.
21. Click.
So what's Gary Burke drink?
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Bud Light?
No, Captain Morgan.
Oh, there's a free promotion to Captain Morgan. You know what we've been shooting on all night?
What?
Proper number
Nice.
12. Got to do the Irish whiskey.
Nice.
So on that note, you were talking about, may I? One? Okay, cool. Sorry. You said when you have downtime, what does a band do on their downtime? You said you have all your own little,
We
you know,
explore. I mean, I'm very adventurous. Whenever we're out playing and stuff, if I'm not sleeping and we're not playing, I want to go explore and find things to do. Um, but honestly, like if we're stuck at a venue somewhere, you could find us sitting there playing cornhole and beer pong or just hanging out. We're not or sleeping.
Right.
Remember, I said that the one thing that I wish there was more of in this business was sleep.
right.
Man, I'm telling you, man, ever since I started listening, man, I am stuck on your lyrics. Like, hell
Thank you
bent
so much.
on your lyrics. Like,
We need an album.
no, I mean,
We need
I'm
an album
telling
to where
you,
we can play it all the time.
that is what's going to put you up there on the marquee of the Grand Ole Opry is your lyrics and you being
thank
able
you.
to formulate them with your crew. And like I told you, you don't release crap, man.
Well, thank you.
All your stuff is good, and I don't know. I don't, maybe you're a little bit OCD. Maybe the stuff you have sitting on your shelf is really good, and you're striving for that perfection, man. But you being able to take your feelings and your thoughts along with your crew and put them to music. I think that's really good. That's gonna what puts you over, man. Makes you great.
Well,
You know,
thank
I think you're really good now, man. But
you know what I'm mad about
Thank
right
you.
now? The fact that I didn't put on here. I honestly think people need to hear your cover of "Amazed," and
oh man,
I don't know what will happen if I try and do a download during a live.
Yeah, we don't have to do it, man. We just implore our viewers and followers, man, to get on iTunes, Spotify. What else we got, Gary? I found you on iTunes, and that's what I've been rocking.
iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Snapchat, Instagram,
Dude.
Facebook, Telegram.
What's
I mean,
that?
I got them all.
Oh man, I'm so bad with this stuff.
What about Amazon? I had one person when I was telling them that I was doing this interview today. Are you on Amazon?
Pretty sure I am. I'm pretty sure I'm on Amazon.
Yeah, get that Amazed cover, man. It is, man. Whew. I don't know. I'm gonna listen to it before I go to bed, Gary Bird.
Hey,
Thank you.
did we click it?
Chalk another one up. So what do you play? Like, what's your instrument? I saw in the one video, I can't remember which video, but you were playing piano. Were you really playing the piano? I didn't say the keyboard.
Oh yeah. I play keyboard, drums, bass, and guitar.
Really? And what's your favorite guitar?
Guitar.
Yeah, all day, every day.
Yeah, guitar's always been. Guitar was kind of where I started, and it's just always been what I do. Every once in a while, for a special occasion, I'll break out the keys for a live show, but it's few and far between. I bet it's been 2 or 3 years since I actually brought the keys to a live show.
What guitar do you play? Like what's your main piece?
I got a Gibson J45. That's my go-to. That's my princess.
That's solid, man. Ooh. It's a fine machine right there.
Yeah, it's by far my favorite.
So, and you have one person that sings with you, a background singer, I think you said.
Yep. I mean, all my guys kind of sing, but but Evan's kind of my main dude on the backup harmonies.
These are all local folk from around Shakur, Pittsburgh.
They're from all over the United States, all over the
Really?
place. Yeah.
Did I hear you the other day, the first time we met, say that one of your guys is from Vegas? Or am I?
Yeah, that was one of my old drummers.
Ah,
Not the new guy.
So, not the new guy. He is from Pittsburgh.
You guys haze the new guy?
No, we don't mess with anybody too much. I try not to. We got to keep them around. Beth Evan's my favorite. I can't even. No, I'm just teasing. I don't have a favorite. He's my favorite Evan. How's that?
Good enough. Good enough, man.
It's like your kids. You can't tell them like one of them's your favorite or not. They're all your favorite.
Right.
you know what I'm interested. I've been trying very hard to find out who all's been on here. I'd like to know how many people I have on here from the Tennessee area, because honestly, I mean, if you're a country star, so like I said, if you're on here and you got a question, feel free, get on here, let us know in the messages. We have invited
sure.
people to open forum.
We still got some time left, right?
Man,
Oh, we got plenty of time left.
for you, Gary Burke, we got time.
In case you guys haven't, heard, his name's Gary Burke.
Yeah.
You keep forgetting the third.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
We're still gonna click the counter.
Look, Alex had nothing better to say to you. We talked about you the other night as you as a musician. Me and Bill, Alex got on there and he talked about you as a person. He said,
Yeah, Alex.
humble. You brought him to the crib, and you're just a normal dude from Shakora. You used to work at FedEx.
Yeah.
You had some feelings and emotions. You have a talent in music. You put it together, man, and you know what? I think you're making Shakora believe, man, and that's gonna grow, man.
Thank you. That's the hope.
So, you know what? I'm gonna double down on that right there. You brought up, what did you do before, and before you started doing the tours and everything? What was pre superstar Gary Burke like? There it is, number 5 for me.
Honestly, right before I started getting real heavy back into music, I was working at FedEx. I was driving a truck. Nothing crazy really. Just flying around delivering FedEx packages, and
Did you bring your guitar with you?
no. So prior to that, though, I used to do like late night security stuff. Actually, and it's kind of funny. I tell this story every once in a while. My tour manager that now works for me, I used to work for him, and it's probably just about 10, 12 years ago. I was fresh out of high school, needed a job, was working late night shifts, I was working whatever job I could work pretty much. And I was working on a late night overnight shift, and my boss at the time, who's Garrett Kimmel, stopped to see me to see how I was doing that night. And I was sitting in the office just playing my guitar. And he was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I was like, I'm gonna be a country singer someday." He was like, "Yeah, okay. Sure, you're gonna be a country singer someday. You just keep working your night shift job and I'll see you tomorrow." And he made a comment to me that night. He said, "Listen, if you ever make it to the point when you actually need somebody, I'm your guy." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna call your bluff." Like, it was 5 or 6 years later, I was opening for Travis Tritt, and they'd asked me to bring my own staff. And we I called him and he was like, "Who's this?" And I'm like, "Oh, hey, you remember that guy from that late night shift that you said that wouldn't be a country singer?" And he was like, "Well, I didn't say you wouldn't be a country singer." I was like, "Oh, I know, but you had your doubts in me." I said, "But I need you next week." And he was like, "No way." And yeah, he's been with me ever since. I mean, Garrett's been a man of his word, and he took good care of me. So
You said Travis Tritt. See, my wife is a absolute 100 through and through Tim McGraw all day, and I'd like to think now that I've kind of introduced you to your music, you're going to make that list too. Um, is that somebody we could look forward to possibly? I mean, is that on your quote unquote bucket list to tour with sometime or open for? Or,
Tim McGraw, for sure,
oh,
for sure. I mean, I'd love to
like
do something with Tim.
I mean, I know we touched on it earlier, and you so who really has inspired? Like who really stuck out and inspired you? I mean, you said what was the good gentleman's name? The one
Daryl
that,
Worley, Luke
yeah, Daryl Worley.
Combs. When I was little, I used to sing along to Billy Gilman. That was kind of like my first experience in just the singing side of what I was doing. Um, but really, just there's not like one specific genre or one specific artist that I listen to more than the other. It's honestly like I you're gonna call me crazy, but I still listen to the radio. I don't. I'm
Oh,
one of
dude,
those people
I'm
that
with you. I'm old school like
I
that.
uh I can only control the music so long, and I'm like I don't care what plays. I just want to hear something different, and that's kind of what I need people to do for me. So I try to do it for the same for other people.
So what was it about country though that kind of stuck out the most?
It was always on in my household growing up. It was always anywhere. My whole family was country music fans. My grandpa was a huge Alan Jackson fan, so I love Alan Jackson. I just I kind of took the other route where I went with more of like a country pop sound than a traditional country sound, and that was just kind of how the wind blew me. It wasn't any specific reason why. It was just kind of what happened.
You had a question. Yeah, I could tell you like your wheels were
No,
spinning.
I was just reading Alex's comment there. I was reflecting on Alex's comment on the. I think I'm not ready. It's one of Gary's most slept on songs.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to think. I'm not ready. So is it? Hang on. He kind of disappeared for a second. We'll let him get back here.
It's Gary Burke's ability to tug at the heartstrings, and he's going to continue to do that. I guarantee you.
I mean that right there. Honestly, you know what? I will put this up again. This right here, this comment kind of speaks volumes. We'll let him get back.
I'm trying.
There he
There
is.
we go. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
We had to make. Yeah, we got you, brother.
Cool.
We got you, Gary Burke.
You've got Microsoft Internet right now, don't you?
I do. No. All right, I'm not ready. Yeah, I'm not ready. I wrote about my dad. So my dad he had been diagnosed with a terminal illness right before I got signed with my first record deal with Sony, and oh my, MC1 Sony Records had called me, and they basically had made a roundabout offer on the song, but the backstory on it was, um it was just one of those normal days that my dad has always been my biggest fan. He's always been my biggest supporter. And he asked all of us to stop over to the house, and it was determined that he had a terminal lung illness. And I remember coming home that night, and I said to myself that I wasn't ready to miss my dad. And I kind of put it by the wayside. I had to process everything and kind of get through all the emotions of what I was feeling. And it was middle of winter, and another friend of mine, had come over to the house, and he was actually plowing my driveway, and he had just lost his brother, and he, just we were talking back and forth, and everything he was saying, I was just like, wow, like this, these feelings that I just felt, prior to, are the same things that he's going through. And I packed up, went to Nashville. Um, Eric and I wrote the song, and it it was the one that really helped put me on the map because that's the one that I sent to Sony, and they called me, and we were in Nashville. I think a week later, signing the deal, and we were on the big billboard downtown Nashville.
How good did that feel?
It was awesome. I mean, I got to take my friends down, and I could take a couple friends, some family members, and talk about my dad being my biggest supporter. So that night that we were up on the big sign in Nashville, which I don't know if y'all have been to Nashville, it's like right at the end of Broadway. It's the biggest sign on Broadway. But it's off Broadway, I guess. But we had seen the sign, and I called my dad, and I was like, "Hey, dude, I'm on the billboard," and I sent him a picture. And at like 7 o'clock the next morning, he was knocking on the door of the bus because he drove from Pittsburgh to Nashville just to see the sign.
Right.
It was cool.
And anybody that's never been to Nashville before, Broadway is like the spot to hang out. Honestly, I mean, there's anything and everything there.
I'm a Music Row fan myself. There's a lot more original music on Music Row.
I do like Music Row. Obviously, living in Tennessee for a while, I've spent a lot of time in Nashville. Honestly, it's not one of my favorite cities to travel through, but I tell you what, when it comes to like music and entertainment, it is bar none the best city. Honestly, I think everybody personally, when it came to Tennessee, I'm more of a Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg. I like that area the best.
I love Pigeon Forge. I played at the Country Tonight Theater in Pigeon Forge in 2020. I actually won the JMA Contemporary Country Song of the Year. It was my song Like That.
So, from what I'm gathering so far, so is the I'm Not Ready, is that the one that sticks out for you the most out of all the songs you've done so far? Which one? I mean, do you never get tired singing, playing?
Two-Lane Airplane. It's my favorite song ever.
All right, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Only because there's a magazine article that I mean, that was I've been posting that magazine article left and right.
Two-Lane Airplane. What year was this? 2000? No, it was an early one. I have you going all the way back to 2017. That's what's in my library.
Yeah, I think Two-Lane would have been 19 or 20. I think
it was early. So what's it about? I was trying to pick up on the meeting, and I couldn't.
So it's really just about being in a Chevy, which is I'm a Ford guy, but it's all about just driving down a back road and having your honey on your side, and there's nothing better than the song starts out floating on cloud 9 or maybe 11, driving like hell straight through heaven. Like it's just kind of one of those things that you got your girl by your side. Mark Narmore did an awesome job with that song. I did not write Two-Lane Airplane. Mark Narmore wrote that song. He also wrote That's What I Love About Sunday for Craig Morgan, as well as a laundry list of other hits. But I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to cut that song, and still to this day, it is probably my favorite song that I ever do.
Man, I'm telling you, the review I read on that song was like, they loved it. I absolutely loved it. What site was that on, Bill? You remember? You remember? They loved it, and they brought me more.
Actually, I've got it, literally right here.
And it seemed like that they would have broke you down like if they could, but they had nothing bad to say from the instrumentals to the lyrics to dang your voice. Like it was a good song. I mean, I didn't understand it. Now I do.
Yeah, it's all about just kind of hanging out with your honey and doing your thing.
This is so. What do you know? Are you single or?
No, I have a beautiful fiance and 3 kids.
Ah, amazing, man. Amazing. Oh, man. There are more songs to come. How old are your kids?
My daughter is 7 and my twin boys are 10 right now.
You got twins. Okay.
Dude, you have growing inspiration in your household.
Are you gonna push music in their direction? Do you think they're gonna try and follow in Daddy's footsteps? You think?
My daughter, if she doesn't, she sings all the time. I mean, when I say sings at the top of her lungs, I love it. It's awesome. I hear her singing it all the time. I actually the kids and I went shopping yesterday, and that new Wallen and Post Malone song, I think it is. I Had Some Help. We were
Uh-huh.
walking around, and my one son comes around the corner just singing it. He's dancing, getting into it. We're in the middle of Walmart. I'm like, yeah, get it, boy. So I think all my kids at some point will get involved in some sort of music. One of the boys I think will be more in the business side of it. He says he wants to be a drummer though. I got one that says he wants to be a guitar player. My daughter wants to be a singer, so we might have the family band.
So what's your advice to like kids, aspiring musicians? Someone that was what would you say to a 9-year-old Gary Burke?
Dream big. You might just catch it. And don't quit till you do.
Fair enough, man.
I
Fair
have
enough.
a sign on my wall that whenever I had a bunch of craziness happen, and it says don't quit, but the NT and the QU are like cut out of it, and but you can see it all. It's just crossed out part of it. So it says don't quit, and then if you cross the letters out, it says do it. And I think that was one of my biggest like inspirations, especially in this last year, because probably the last 2 years, but it's been crazy. There's a lot of madness happening in the world. It's not easy to push everything out and try to make everybody love you. There's going to be people that don't like you, and that's part of it. And I think accepting that was probably one of the hardest parts of it. But if I had the opportunity to tell 9-year-old me something, it'd be don't quit. That it'll suck. It's going to be hard. There's going to be lots of sacrifices, but in the end, it'll be mega worth it.
So I'll tell you what, we've been going strong. I mean, dude, we really appreciate you coming on tonight. Dude, this has been
thank
awesome.
you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it.
We're not going to keep you too much longer, so we're going to give it about maybe 10 more minutes at best. Let's go ahead. If you got any questions,
I got questions.
Now's a good time to do it. I definitely want to, since we've got a lot more than when we first started people watching. I should have downloaded more songs. I should have had more on here, but I would definitely like to play your newest single, which would be Free Bird Kiss one last time. But what message do you want to go ahead and give to people that, like you said, go ahead.
It's not about all my messages, man. It's about Gary's messages. If I give one last message to Gary, man, thank you. Like you brought an old patriot out in me.
Nice.
You made me believe again. Especially one of your most inspiring guys was Darryl Worley. Someone who got me and America through a very tough time. You give me that feeling again, man. 20 years later, brother. 20 years later.
Thank you so much for allowing me to come on here and hang out with y'all. It's been a great time. And I'm so glad that I was able to kind of reignite that fire, man. Thank you again for your service. And, I think what you guys are doing here is awesome. I think it's going to take off. I really do.
Appreciate you, brother. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead and play one more song, and then if you're cool with that, we'll say our good nights and appreciate you coming on. So if you'll stick around, just give us 3 more minutes.
Sounds like a plan to me, my friend.
All right, this is Free Bird Kiss to all you guys that didn't get to hear it the first time. I'm going to play it one more time. This is Gary Burke III, my personal favorite song. You guys enjoy.
Like a Dixieland dream, hit a high-dollar diner in the downtown scene. Riding home pretty in the shotgun seat of my jacked-up country boy limousine. I threw it in park right there in a drive that's on 95.5. Do I walk you to the door? Do we call it a night? We just turned it up and said, baby, I want a free bird kiss, free bird kiss. 14 minutes, backseat bliss. Make it long and sweet and soft, so slow. When we get to the solo, bring it up and call me baby. Let's get a little crazy. Let the swamp music make you miss my lady. One thing on earth she can't resist is a free bird kiss. When the last note hit, I was falling hard. She had my heart racing like a screaming guitar. Just when I thought the fun was about to end, she pulled me in closer and hit me again with a free bird kiss, free bird kiss. 14 minutes of backseat bliss, make it long and sweet and soft, so slow. When we get to the solo, bring it up and call me baby. Let's get a little crazy. Let the swamp music make you miss my lady. One thing on earth she can't resist is a free bird kiss. Free bird kiss, free bird kiss. Free bird kiss, free bird kiss. 14 minutes of backseat bliss. Make it long and sweet and soft, so slow. When we get to the solo, bring it up and call me baby. Let's get a little crazy. Let the swamp music make you miss my lady. One thing on earth she can't resist is a free bird kiss. Free bird kiss.
All right, guys, that was Free Bird's Kiss. Again, my personal favorite song as of right now. We've been talking to Gary Burk III. I know we are on, we said we were going to end it here with a few things, but we do have one more question. You should recognize this individual. Why is it not showing? There it goes.
Alex got a hot one.
I just realized that I was muted, so I'm having a full-blown conversation with nobody. Alex,
That was
if
awesome. I thought it was on our end.
Right. So, Alex, honestly, if I was gonna go, I'm not a cowboy hat expert. I know everybody probably thinks that, but um,
You were baseball cats in a lot of your videos, man.
most of my, unless I'm on stage, I don't typically wear a cowboy hat. But Alex, I told you in text, man, if I was gonna shop for a cowboy hat, I'd be going to Altmaiers in the mall. They'll
There you
take care
go.
of you. Leave that to the pros. If you ask me how to sing a song, I might be able to help you. But ask me what kind of cowboy hat to buy, and I'm out.
All right, one last question for you, Gary. This one's on you, man. You seem like a true patriot, man. What's your message for our viewers and for America, brother?
God bless. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out my upcoming shows and check out my Facebook, my Instagram, my TikTok. It's all at Gary Burk Music or the Gary Burk. You can find me anywhere. Just Gary Burk III.com, and there's links on all that. But God bless y'all. Thank you so much for having me on here tonight. I appreciate it. And I know that this is called another shot. So I've seen y'all doing shots. I poured myself one to have with you before we go here.
Oh, here,
Ah.
pour us.
Ah.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of touched on my my last question. What you got coming up here in the near future? Someplace that people are going to be able to see you. Kind of, this is your chance fucking
Yeah,
promote.
this
I'm
coming
sorry, promote
Saturday
yourself, man.
at the Petrolia Festival, Petrolia Music and Arts Fest in the middle of the town. You can't miss it. It's at Petrolia Park. If you can't make that show, we're gonna be at the Regatta August 4th in Butler at Moraine. Nonsensical Network, what's happening, brother? Get a hold of me. No, I'm teasing. I'm kidding. But if you can't make
Get late
that,
to the
August
party.
17th. August 17th, we are having Butler's Freedom Revival. It's going to be at the Bonnybrook Clubhouse. It's off Bonnybrook Road. Hope to see you guys there. And if you can't make a show, be sure to stay tuned on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and anywhere else that you follow me. And we'll see y'all soon.
Hey, man, Gary, we can't appreciate enough for coming on, man. Guys, check out Gary Burk.
Thank
And on
you
that
guys.
note,
Cheers.
this time for a shot. Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers to you, fellas.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Much appreciated, brother. Final shot. Make sure you look up Gary Burk on GaryBurk.com. The third. I'm sorry, Gary Burk the third. Looking forward to seeing you again, man. Hopefully,
Can't wait, man. It's going to be a great time. Thank you so much.
hey, you have a good night, brother. Thank you.
Thanks,
you as
Gary.
well. Thank you.
And that right there was Mr. Gary Burk.
All right, let's bring Blick on.
Oh, we're not done yet. We're gonna stick it out a little bit longer.
Send the link.
So no, he knows all he has to do is scroll back up. For you guys wanting to stick around a little bit longer, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Again, I got to meet this dude, give or take about a year ago, a little over a year ago. Awesome guy. I mean, he literally, it was partially his idea to come on here. I want to thank him for coming out. Hopefully you guys really enjoy his music. And like I said, make sure you look him up on GaryBurk3rd.com. He's going to be in Petrolia. Some of us are going to be on there. I believe it is the 4th for the Moraine Regatta. But I want to thank everybody for coming out, man. I mean, this was a good time, and you guys came up with some good questions. There were some awesome people seeing you all and or on here. But with it being our Wednesday night, we are leaving it open a little bit longer just to see who all wants to kind of join us. Let's have a little open forum and talk about what all we just seen.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I really like his music, man. It takes me a lot. Like, I like to criticize music. Like, if I don't like it, I don't like it. But I listen to all his shit.
Honestly, I mean,
there was nothing I didn't like.
I'm not the biggest country guy, but I tell you what, I mean, the stuff that he plays is right along the stuff that I normally listen to, when it comes to country. So, I mean, that was about as much fun as you can get. Like, I mean, I don't think that couldn't have gone any better. Okay, we've got one person. Let's welcome to the stage. We're going to leave a little open forum going on. For everybody that is tuning in, make sure you follow us on Another Shot Facebook page.
Like and
we're
subscribe,
also
guys. It helps
like and subscribe on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're working on all that other stuff, all the other platforms. Hopefully, we reached out and you guys enjoyed. It's Kay, Robin with a half grin. What'd you think of it?
It was good. It was good. Lots of good questions.
You knew Gary early on.
You know what?
Position to you, right?
When he said his age, though, I think it might have been his dad or something that I knew, because he's too young for me to know who he is. 30.
So we are off by a minute.
Yeah, I think
a couple minutes.
Yeah.
That just goes to show how old all of us are. Oh, wait. Oh, man. The myth, the legend, the guy with the greatest beard I've ever fucking seen. He feeds it 3 times a day to keep it looking that good. Of Nonsensical Network.
Beard's got to eat.
Mr. Glick, what is going on, brother?
What's going on, gentlemen? I only got a few
I'm
minutes,
not
but I
a
wanted to pop in.
gentleman.
I use that term very
and
loosely.
lady.
Well, no disrespect. Hey.
Oh, dude, she can hang with the best of us. You can call her one of the guys. Trust me.
I wanted to I got a couple minutes. We just got done doing the show. I wanted to pop in. I got to see, clips here and there. I'm definitely going to watch the replay tomorrow.
Wait. What show did you just come from, though? Give yourself a shout out, man. What do you got on Wednesday nights?
What is tonight? Wednesday?
It is Wednesday.
Wednesday nights on the Nonsensical Network. We have
Wednesday.
What the Fuck News. Yeah. On the network on Wednesday nights, we have What the Fuck News. Basically, if it's in the news and it makes us say what the fuck, it's probably going to make you say what the fuck too. So we talk about it and we have fun with it.
Good shit.
We've been doing a lot of collabing with this gentleman, and this is one of the guys that has been helping us a lot. And I tell you what, about an hour or two before we went live, this gentleman right down here, Mr. Glick, was on the phone with me, just literally talking me through something that, I was I'm not gonna lie, I went into panic mode, trying to figure out how to do this and make this, and you walked me through it. So, hey, cheers to Glick, man. Thanks. Much appreciated.
I'll cheers my water. I've been drinking a lot of water these days.
Oh, come on now. If you're on a bar show, you got to enjoy at least one drink.
Your health is wealth, my friend. Your health is wealth.
Drink.
You got to take one day off, right?
Yeah. No, man. Hopefully it all worked out for you. Like I said, I didn't get to see the full show because we were doing our show, but hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully everything went smooth for you. I'll be watching the replay tomorrow. I'll be listening to the replay tomorrow.
Yeah, I really like his music.
Like I told you, man, don't let it overwhelm you. It's all scary. It looks scarier than what it really is at the end of the day. But once you figure it out, it's super easy. It's nothing.
Well, after we had our lengthy and I got my tutorial in, I can honestly say, what do you think, Steve? I think that couldn't have gone any better, really. There was no dead time. We had a lot of response. Miss Robin up there even joined us with one question. Thank you.
What I took from it all, man, is like I want to see this man play live.
I was just going to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to go by your name that's on the screen. Did you watch the whole show, or how long were you in there? And what was your opinions on how they do tonight with their first interview as a member of the audience?
Yeah, I missed the very beginning, but I think I was on pretty shortly after that. I thought they asked a lot of good questions. Yeah, I mean, really, the whole spectrum of questions as a person, who he was, and about his career, about what he has planned for the future. So really, I think we covered everything.
Nice.
Well, that's kind of how I like to approach it. Like I didn't want to approach it as like him being like an up and coming star. I wanted to approach him as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how his songs spoke to me. Like I literally sat here and Bill read the lyrics from his new song coming out this weekend, and just listening to it, it spoke to me, and I was like, you know what, man? I was like, I want to write this shit down, and I don't want to hear it to music. I want to read. So for someone like that, there are those songs, like your favorite songs. If ever anyone wants to ask you like your top 10, if you can read a song and still like it, it should definitely be in your top 10. No music. Because those are the songs that I feel like speak to us the most. And all his songs, in some form or fashion, even his Christmas ones, like, and he doesn't release any bullshit out there on iTunes or Spotify. Like he releases, good shit. Like it touched him, it hit him, and he's like, that's the one. And he's only 30, man. We are all over 30 there in this forum.
Speak for yourself.
No,
Speak for yourself.
I'm only 22.
Your beard's 30.
Your beard's
Same.
29.
29.
I'm only 22. God damn it.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
That's okay. We've heard that Robin's 50, so I mean,
I take that as true
Mhm.
talent as someone coming
Yeah.
off as 30. You're 30 and you're speaking to someone 14 years, 15 years, whatever, you're elder. It's good, man. Like he talked to me in his newest song coming out this weekend, like 20 years ago. Like I wish I had it 20 years ago. You know, it kind of made me feel better the 20 years ago me.
Yeah.
Which I mean that's some powerful shit, man. Like I was like, man. And he studied under Darryl Worley, and the first CD I bought before I went to Iraq was Darryl Worley. Never knew it, but he gave me that same feeling this last month that I had back in 2002, 22 years
Yeah.
ago. So I
Like
mean, it
what
was
feeling?
good.
Like what feeling? What feeling were you talking about? Like patriotism? Like what?
Patriotism. No, because when we went to Iraq, right? So when I went in, right, the bombs just dropped.
Mhm.
I was in Fort Dix. The bombs dropped, and as soon as those bombs dropped, they started sending troops. The Guard. I was in the National Guard. The bombs dropped on the news. We were at a bar, and they pulled us all in that night, and they're like, "We're leaving tomorrow." We were all ready to go, but we had been ready. So the bombs dropped, and then the word became official. You guys are leaving tomorrow. Number one, we're at a fucking bar, and number
Mhm.
two, like if you got 36 hours to sleep it off. You got a long ride. But Darryl Worley was that song at that time. Have you forgotten? Because by the time we actually went over there and started dropping bombs, it was late 2002.
Mhm.
The towers got hit in 2001.
Right.
So a year later, he started writing "Have You Forgotten," and a lot of people did. Unless you had lost someone in the towers or were in New York City, we as a country we forgot, and it made
Right.
you remember, which was huge and powerful. And you as a soldier, it kind of repurposed you to like, why the fuck am I doing this? Am I doing this for the college money? No,
Mhm.
no. We did it. I joined the army because I got pissed off. I got pissed off because I had friends in New York City that day, window washers who were probably hanging on the buildings. And you saw the smoke and everything. Dude, fucking the Twin Towers dropped. And I thought about my one buddy, Tom. I said that my buddy could have been hanging up on one of those buildings. And I got mad. I just got pissed off. I said, you know what? I'm joining the army. I'm going to do something at the end of the day. That's what it was. It's like I'm gonna do something. And you know what?
Mhm.
I go work at Cheats, but that's not doing something. Like I wanted to do something. Like if my fellow countrymen, people who went to America, died in that fucking building, I'm gonna defend them or I'm gonna die trying. And that's what I did. And a lot of people did. We filled up buses of soldiers. And Darryl Worley, man, he brought it back. Toby Keith was bringing it back then, but for this, in all jurisdiction, our gentleman tonight, he was a kid. He was an absolute kid, and
Mhm.
that had an impact on him. And you know what? He remembered. He
Yeah.
absolutely remembered, and he still remembers today.
Yeah.
He was
And
only
he's paying it
few
forward
miles.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was only
Yes.
still a few miles from Butler, as all of us are.
Mhm.
K's down in like Cranberry, Wexford area. Glick's just outside here in Ohio. Like we're not far.
Right.
First assassination attempt since what, like 2000 or
no,
19,
since 1980.
Yeah, since
That would be Reagan.
someone took a shot at Reagan.
Reagan.
Now we
Right.
had one right here in Butler,
Yeah. Fucking
and he went
in
ahead.
Butler. Yeah.
Leave the fucking Butler. He got pissed off. He felt some sort of way, man. And he brought back a feeling with the lyrics in his song
Yeah.
that made me feel the way Daryl Worley did 22 years ago.
I get it.
That's an accomplishment, man. And you know that gives me a reason and faith that, you know what, patriotism isn't dead. Like,
No, it's not.
the will to do better. And that, man, he brought like a lot of thought. 30-year-old, 14 years my younger. It's not about seeing red and blue.
Right.
At the end of the day, man, we just see fucking American.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I'm gonna vote American. Yeah, you know, I don't want a designation. I'm just gonna vote American.
Right.
Robin, I can honestly say you actually brought something out in him that there's been nobody else. I mean, you took him to a place right there. Nice question. Nice question.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing.
Man.
I think it's the thing with music in general. You know, I'm such a huge music fan. I love music. Music's always been, you know, that's my happy place.
Mm-hmm.
And when you find artists who write songs that speak to you, that's why I started doing my music show, to spotlight guys like Gary and stuff like that. And you guys had mentioned, you know, somebody that's so much younger than you. I'm doing interviews with cats that are like 20 years younger than me, man. And to hear their mindset and where they are and what they're doing and how they go about writing songs is crazy. Because I'm all about the music that speaks to me. And if I'm in a good mood, a bad mood, if I'm in a bad way, whatever the case may be, wherever I'm at, there's certain artists and certain songs that are my go-to. You know, and I know he's relatively new-ish, but like Jason Aldean is my spirit animal. If I'm in a bad mood, or if I'm in a bad way mentally or whatever, I'll go take a drive and I'm on some back country road with Jason Aldean cranked up, and every song off every album is just bang, one after another. It's speaking to me. It's getting me through where I'm at in that time and place.
Right.
So what's funny, country has that stigma of always being like, you know, remember the old saying was, you know, you get a country song, your dog dies, your house is blown away. So it has that stigma of like depressing.
If my dog dies, I'm listening to country. Like, no, seriously. I'm like, if somebody fucking understands it, you know what I mean? Like put my feelings into words and give it a guitar. I mean, like, that's what I want. That's what I need.
And this is coming from somebody that plays a lot of music. Okay, I honestly think today's music absolutely sucks.
Dog shit.
It really does. It is so hard to find something
you
that
young whippersnapper.
Yeah,
Depends.
no, I'm sounding like my dad all day long.
I
right
don't
there,
agree.
Like me and my son.
There are some artists out there today that make good music, but there is
Taylor
a lot
Swift.
of music. I don't even like her anymore. I'm leaving.
I love her.
I'm done. I quit.
Are you ready?
Call somebody and ask somebody else for help from now on, Bill. I'm done. I quit.
So here's a fair question.
Why you guys?
I'm just gonna go. I'm just
Maybe
gonna go
we're-
shake it
maybe
off because I'm in my bad glick era.
Maybe we're old and outdated, right? So maybe since like, do younger kids, you know, our kids, do they need a different way to connect? And that's, I mean, trap rap and like the music's dog shit, absolute dog shit.
I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I will not deny she's a very talented songwriter. She's a very talented artist. I think she has a very pretty voice on her. I just don't like her music. But
That's
I'm not
fine. That's fair.
I'm not going to deny her talent. She's super talented.
Yeah.
There are artists out there today that I don't like, and I think they put out shit music, and they're shit music. But there's also a lot of really good, talented artists across the board. And I'm a music fan. I listen to everything. I guess you could kind of pigeonhole me into a country rock guy, but I listen to everything. I'm an old school hip hop head. I shock a lot of people when we start talking about old school rap and stuff, and my knowledge of old school rap and different artists that I enjoy and that I like. So you can give credit where credit's due with today's music. It may not be my cup of tea, but you can still give credit where credit's due. But what I've noticed,
So what about
what I've noticed, especially with what I'm doing now, as far as I'm doing a lot of projects in the podcasting world, and I'm hosting a lot of projects. But what I've noticed is there's a generation of musicians that are coming up, and no matter their genre, they are very in tune and in touch with older music and older artists. They were inspired or grew up listening to these older artists, and they emulate them to a certain degree. I had a couple gentlemen on from they're a rockish band, but they say they're too southern to be metal, and too country to be rock. But when I was talking to them last week, Tennessee Holy Water is the name of the band. The lead singer, he was heavily influenced by Elvis and
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Some other older artists, and you can hear, when you hear them say that, and then you listen to their music, you can go, okay. And their bass player, or their bassist, joined us as well, who was originally a guitar player who just picked up the bass a few years ago, but he can still do the things he did as a guitar player and have fun and be all over the stage. But you can see when you watch their music videos, or if you get the opportunity to see them live, and I haven't yet, which sucks because this weekend they are literally 20 minutes away from me, but we have plans this weekend, so I can't go see them. But they were going to come they were going to come beat up my door after their gig was done and hang out and have some water with me.
Out there. I mean, it drives me nuts that you would do your House of Rock on. I mean, unfortunately, I'm busy just about every Friday and Saturday night.
Water, cheersing water.
To get out there and if you had a bottle of wine right here, you'd be all about it, girl. You know you would.
If I had wine, I already had my wine earlier, actually.
Well, the good news, Bill, is Glick's House of Music. That's one of the other podcasts that I host on the Nonsensical Network, which you can find on all social media at the Nonsensical Network, or go to bio.link/nonsensical network.
Good one.
But Glick's House of Music, after this Friday, actually moving to Tuesday nights, because when I first started Glick's House of Music, I was just playing music. I was hanging out. I was listening to the music I enjoy and sharing the music that I enjoy that's in my jukebox that I call a brain. And then I wanted to get into the interview game, and I learned very quick. It's not easy to book a guest that is a musician on a Friday night. So now I'm July 30th will be my first Tuesday night show out of South Carolina. He's a country / hip hop artist. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But then moving forward, it'll be on Tuesday nights. And as of right now, I am completely booked all the way into September. And I want to save September for some young ladies that I had on a couple weeks ago who just had a fantastic show, a sellout show, first ever Women Rock LA, with Jules in the How, Bree, Marley, and Izzy. We're going to do solo interviews, and I want to see if they're available in September. And then I'll be rolling it up. So the next 2.5 months, my show is completely booked, guest wise, and it's moving to Tuesdays. And I'm excited for the Tuesday night shows because I think it'll be better at the end of the day.
I think me and this cat might have knocked this one out of the park. I'm going to kind of pat us both on the back on that one. I'd like to think now, if I go to promote, and ask somebody to come on live, they're going to look at it and see that, hey, maybe this isn't just a slub show. These guys aren't just trying to. I think maybe we'll actually entertain the crowd, and I think that I honestly, you know what, you as of right now are kind of our gold standard. So
okay.
Jesus Christ, it's a good thing we set the bar extremely low.
In fact, you know what really I'm not gonna lie, the one that really sold me was the Ramones. When you had
that was not my doing, that was not my show, and I promise you and I promise everybody down the road I will reach out to Richie and I will redo the Richie Ramone interview, and I will do it properly.
Well, the fact that you had him on there is what caught me, and that one struck me because I'm a big Ramones fan, and I'm hoping we can actually do a really strong collab on that one. If you have Richie Ramone back on there, I'm hoping that you can have Another Shot Podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Oh, wait till the next time we do your open forum.
Yeah,
you learn, young grasshopper.
But yeah, to sit down and talk with Ramone,
shameless plug, man. You got to sneak it in.
All day long. Honestly, like I said, man. I mean, you guys have been there for us. So I mean, if you come on here and you want to plug your shit all day long, run it.
I don't want to steal your thunder. I think that's one thing. I mean, there's a difference in supporting each other and allowing each other to come on their show, on each other's shows. And obviously, Bill, I've been here since day one. I've been here even before the podcast started, helping you out.
Right.
I just rewatched you and Jeff's first one ever. You just posted it, I think yesterday.
Yeah, that was our first
one. I watched you, young grasshopper, as a young grasshopper, and yeah, man, you're still good, man. But I enjoyed watching you guys yesterday, and then the day.
It's all about the journey, man. Yeah, it's all about the journey, man. And we have an empty slot on the network, and I didn't know what to do with it. And last night I was like, I wonder if I can download this and upload it on the StreamYard and throw it up live, so we're not doing anything on the night. And I figured it all out. Again, like I was telling you when we were talking earlier, Bill, I said, I'm learning shit new every day. I literally learned something new last night with StreamYard. And moving forward, after this Friday night, Fridays are going to be Flashback Fridays, and I'm going to pick episodes from when we first started, and I'm going to throw them up there so we have something live on Friday nights. And I'm going to try to be in the chat as much as I can, depending upon what's going on. But I think it'll be fun because we had some really good episodes. We had some really fun episodes, even when we started, and we were dog shit. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what was going on. And you guys, you guys are in that. And like I told you today, you got to go through the growing pains, man. You got to go. You got to work out the bugs.
But I think
it's not overnight. It's not overnight. We're still growing and evolving.
That's why I said
this network. We started this network, and I changed 2 shows. I renamed and rebranded 2 shows for the network, just to get rid of doing the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean? So, and one of the rebrands just happened just a few weeks ago with What the Fuck News. So.
That's why I think him and I are gonna. I think we'll pull through whatever bumps we have, and I think it's going to be. And I keep, the whole premise of our starting this was it literally is supposed to be just 2 guys at the bar having a conversation over some drinks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, not all your conversations are going to end well.
Oh, I hope not.
And the fun part is about, especially when the drinks start flowing. And I'm going to say this to you live on air. When you think about it, you and I, can you imagine how much fun they're going to have seeing you and I actually really kind of going at it a little bit?
Oh my God, we fight like women.
We've been known to.
No, we're so bad.
But if we post it on there, I mean,
girls. That's what we do. We fight 8-year-old girls. It's my Barbie doll.
But I mean, I think sometimes you like. I mean, I think that some of the best conversations, some of the best content is a better way to put it, is happen off screen.
Dude,
And then you turn around the next day and you wake up and say, dude, why didn't we say that while we were on there? And this gentleman told me something a little while ago. He said, never go back and watch your own stuff. You will beat yourself to death.
Do not watch or listen to your own. Dude, I was my own worst enemy when we were first getting started. I used to listen to when it was up on Spotify, I would go back and I would listen to every episode. And every episode I would come back and Jeff and I would get done listening to it and I would call Jeff and I'm like, dude, what are we fucking doing, man? Like, seriously, what the fuck are we doing? We sound like assholes. And he was like, yeah, I listened to it too. And I had to come to a point where I no longer listen to the replay. I don't listen to any replays. I don't ever listen to our show. We do our shows, we put it out there, and it is what it is, and people either love it or hate it. And
I like
and shout out to our listeners. Our live listeners. Thank you guys, our regulars. The people who come back and listen to us 7 days a week. That's awesome. But the other thing that's great, we're pushing 50,000 fucking downloads and replays on the podcast networks, and that's not like me bragging or anything like that. That's me. It's my mind is blown. I never thought we would get 3 listens, and part of the growth and the evolution is finding that right platform to distribute our podcast in the audio form. And we just switched over about a year ago to a new platform after being on one for about 2 years or a little over 2 years and not getting any push or not getting anything out of it. And then the last year, it's like we're pushing 50,000 listens, and that's insane to me that people listen to it. Or I'll get the random message, some dude like, I'm a truck driver, man, and I can't tell you how many times listening to your guys' show got me through that late night, middle of the night long haul from Illinois to Utah or some dumb shit like that. And ultimately that's what we're doing it for. And I hope that's what you guys are doing it for. You want to do it because you want to.
There is a little bit of like monetary that we want,
monetary will come when monetary comes.
That's what we've grown to accept. But I think that's where most of our, I guess you could say, what, quote unquote, conflict kind of comes in, because we're both trying to figure out still which way we really want to go. Because honestly, like, and it occurred to me the other day that, we just lost Glick. It occurred to me the other day, and somebody pointed this out, that most of our, if you're on, especially with us who's on YouTube, the same person can watch the video over and over, and it's going to show that view. So let's say Robin. Okay. I don't know. You said the other night you didn't care either way, right? I want to make sure.
I don't care.
Either way. Okay. Just, you could have watched it like 10 times, and it's going to show us those 10 times that you viewed it. It's not going to show us how many different people, but it's going to show us those 10 views.
Yeah.
So in all honesty, and him and I have talked about this quite a few times, maybe we need to go ahead and just go back, and kind of integrate back into what we used to do with what we're doing now.
I think watching your own stuff gives you doubts, and you get to critique yourself, and it makes you want to change. I'm 44, bro.
Right.
I think if I was going to change, I would have by now. So it's not about me changing. It's about me doing better right now. So I don't want to change. I'm not going to change. I would have done it by now. But one thing I can do is do better. Does that make sense?
It does, but I think at the same time you were saying you're willing to change because you got to change a little bit to do better.
No, there's still a chance for change, but like at this age, it's the windows closing.
Since
I can change, but it's gonna be hard. Well, what's easier is doing better.
right. Yeah.
So I can do better. I can do better. I can try harder to do better. I can improve.
I think all of us can. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how we're gonna grow, honestly. How about this for a question?
But
Miss Robin. What entertains you the most about what we do? What has kept you wanting to kind of come back? What's been the entertainment factor?
because I take my shirt off.
Because you guys have different opinions for the most part. So you get to hear both sides of the story and can share my side of the story, and then everybody can discuss it and, either agree or disagree, or maybe change views on things too, because you're learning what someone else is thinking.
My goal is for people to get on here and ask something that has been bothering them all day under a random name.
That's why I brought up domestic abuse in the first place, was because that's what I was going through. So
Random.
Yeah,
And that's
it was random.
It leaves it open for everybody.
I don't want to know you. And you're gonna have two guys that hopefully by now you're gonna get two different opinions, two different honest opinions.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, brother.
It's what we're thinking, man. It's what we're thinking, and we'll start this shit at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. But at the end of the day, I just hope we can make at least one person sleep better.
I'll tell you what, since we have him on here, did you see it?
No.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to throw it up here again.
Yeah.
This gentleman, I don't know why I keep copying and pasting because, I've already got it on here.
Because it's not about us, man.
He's also becoming a firm believer. Alex, brother, here's the link. Get your little ass on here. Let's go ahead and talk. We got 5 people on here. I'm shooting out the link. Dude, I tell you what, like I said,
we've talked about ourselves a shit ton. We have.
I want to hear about everybody else.
We have put ourselves out there a shit ton to get viewers and subscribers, just so we can take you guys with us. A lot of you guys are home and you can't get out, and you know what? Sitting at home in bed 9, 10 o'clock at night, you're like, oh man, there ain't shit on TV, because honestly there isn't.
No, there's not. That's why I don't even put it on.
So maybe like for an hour a night, Bill's wife is gracious enough, to let him go ahead and pursue this. And my girlfriend's great enough to let me pursue this. She's totally supportive. She's right there. And take you guys with us, man. Like, live through our eyes. We'll do it, dude. Me and Bill we got balls, man. I mean, I get scared as shit on ghosts and stuff like that, but I did it. For other people, you know what I mean? Like I'll do it. Like, what the fuck, man? Why not? But like I want to share people out there that don't normally feel like they have voices to say things. Like, talk through us, man. Talk through us. We're just a little conduit to I don't know, the real bullshit of the world and the real bullshit of our minds.
I mean, our tagline literally is, everything we say is opinion. But then again, I mean, it is a true fact. It might be the alcohol talking, but that aside, we try to be as real as we can be with each other. And, like I said, I mean, there's that, you know, agree to disagree. But if you want a good example, we're still here doing it.
How many times have you ever been with somebody and we're like, all right, so are you serious, or is just the alcohol talking? We're gonna give you the fucking answer. Right?
Oh shit! I ask that question all the time.
I've got plenty
I'm
of friends that
right
have said
here.
they found their mace at the bottom of a bottle, and
Yeah. No, I mean, but then people say, be like, honest thoughts or drunk thoughts, or
Mhm.
liquor brings out the best in people, liquor brings out the worst in people. I mean, so
Mhm.
our premise is technically proving that theory. You see us at the beginning of the show, 2 hours and change.
Uh-huh.
But at the end of the day, man, we're not leaving until you guys close the door. Because if there's one person out there, and hopefully they're in Africa, that has a question,
dude, I promise you, I'm gonna have somebody on here from Africa. I promise you, on my life, there will be somebody on here from Africa.
that has a question,
Just one time for you. I don't know what it is about the African culture that you so badly, but I mean,
because they should be awake by now. That's why. but it's you get on here, you ask the question. Someone on our first show ever asked a question.
It wasn't our first show. Let's
First or second, asked a question, and it changed her life. It changed her life. She chose direction on two guys getting drunk, sitting at a bar.
Right?
Her life direction, not just hers. She had others in tow. We implore others to do that. I mean, we can be wrong. Our answers might be wrong, Bill.
yes.
They weren't wrong.
What?
They weren't wrong answers in my situation.
Well, this someone we're not gonna name. What a weenus!
I think I mean there. I tell you, I know what night you're talking about, and that was an awesome night. We invite everybody to come back on. Like I said, I mean we're gonna give you our best opinion. You know,
We're gonna
it's
give you
it's
the
not it's
truth
and honestly I don't. Well, it's gonna be the truth as we know it is the way I'm gonna say it.
as we know or as we see it.
Both. I think a little bit of both.
Mm.
I mean that
Agreed.
because that's honestly all we can do. I mean we can't. Let me okay. I'll ask this: how much training have you had on counseling?
0
Okay, and I'm the same. We're going on
life.
life, opinion, stuff that's happened to us before, and to be perfectly honest, just our honest, the way we personally see it. So the fact that we actually had people coming on there that night and were asking us such personal questions, dude, that is, and I've bragged about that night multiple times. I mean, that was a good night. That really was. The fact that we were able to make everybody comfortable.
Sadly, one of my greatest features is that I have fucked up so much.
We all have, homie.
Right.
It's not
But-
just you.
But you know what? I was able to turn those fuck ups and put them into power. So my two children,
Right.
as your two children,
Right.
as you see fuck ups come in and collect, you're kind of able to see them
Because you've been there.
and you've already absorbed. So I am so glad for all my fuck ups. I mean, I have paid masterful prices. Jail, losing licenses, losing loved ones. Like I have lost so much in 44 years. And I will gladly do it again to make sure my kids don't follow that path. And that's what makes me feel like I'm not a good counselor, because a lot of these counselors, they may have just come right out of college and they know nothing about life. You know what I mean? You could have a great book education, but life's experiences will teach you fucking volumes, man. Teach you volumes. They will be like yes and no. You know what the price is. You know what the cost is. It's the same fucking thing, ain't it?
I think we go in. If I can kind of step in on that one.
Go ahead.
But step in, you know what I mean.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck
with you.
Yeah, give me my shot back. No,
Cheers.
no, you don't get it.
Cheers.
Cheers. That goes back to a conversation. You've been through counselors, I've been through counselors, and I think you're going to agree with this.
They suck.
It's not that they suck. All they are a platform for you to say what you want to say what you're feeling, but bear in mind they're paid to tell you what they're trained to say.
All right.
Whereas what you and I do, I feel, we're not asking you for anything. You give us a question, we're telling you from actual past experiences, we're telling you something, not that we were trained to say, not something we read in a book, not something that we're telling you stuff that's from life itself, something we've experienced. So whether you agree, disagree, or agree to disagree, it might work, it might not work, but
So now I'm lit. I'm totally fucking lit.
okay.
So I got a counselor, right? One counselor that I see monthly if I even decide to show up. It can be in person or it could be on the phone on I don't know, via fucking chat or whatever.
Right.
She's like, "Oh, hi, Steven. How's your day?" I'm like, "All right, we just did this shit fucking last time we talked." Like it is scripted. And she's like, "I want to ask you some questions on your feelings." And you'd be like, "All right, so you can go like, yes, no, not as much, so much. Like, which one is?" And that's what it is for 15 minutes. We got a 30-minute fucking session. And she asked me the same question again, which obviously calculated score. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, you won last time." Like, motherfucker, my feelings and my emotions are not should not be on a fucking calculator. Like, can't you? They can't. A survey cannot relate to me. A person who has been through it can relate to me. That's who I want to talk to when I'm upset, when I'm in crisis. I want to talk to someone I can relate to, someone who has been through it, survived,
I'm listening.
and made it. And you know what? And if you made it, good for you. There's no guarantee I'm going to, but help me understand. Don't put me on a scale. Don't make me a fucking number. Make me a goddamn person.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah. Go ahead.
It something just dawned on me all at once,
Mm.
and I'm going to ask this.
Yeah,
and
I opened up real quick.
No, that's fine. But do you think maybe since we've done this right here, the whole night was about our interview, so on and so forth, do you think maybe we go ahead and end this particular stream and then come back on and do a secondary, that way we don't take away from Mr. Gary Burk that we originally was talking to?
We're already in.
Hmm?
We're already in.
We're not arguing at all.
No, not arguing, but we're already in.
I mean, I feel that you are definitely opening up, but I just want to make sure that we're not.
You can cut it.
but I don't want to cut it and then not come back in because I want this to keep going.
Yeah, no, we're on 3. Let's roll. We're already in.
So this is not me trying to cut you off. I literally want to continue this conversation, but I think we need to go ahead and set this up for a whole nother.
All right, we're gonna wrap this one up real quick. Is what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna come right back on another show on YouTube, and we're gonna continue this conversation. Our 3 viewers.
Yes, come back on,
Please
and if
come
you've got
back.
more people, bring it. Let's really get into this.
Please come
Guys.
back. I want to talk some feelings, man. I want to reach out. I don't talk about my feelings. I've reached out there a shit ton, but I want to talk about yours.
So we're gonna end this one.
I'm gonna take a piss.
We're gonna call out.
I might take 2.
Quick shout out to our
Two.
friends. At Steve's Diesel Shop LLC. Again, if you have if you got a diesel question, if you've got a diesel truck, anything, this cat right here,
Drinking diesel.
he's got you covered. If you're in the Mercer County or the surrounding county areas,
I gotta see Steve after every time I drink fucking whiskey because
it tastes like diesel.
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna rehab.
So follow him on make sure you look him up on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, anywhere you can find. Just look it up. Steve's Diesel Shop LLC. If you want to talk to him in person, it's 724-269-0477. Hey guys, honestly, we've had a blast tonight. We're gonna do a part 2 here. We're gonna keep it rolling. But I just want you guys to know, thank you, Gary Burk III. It was awesome, talking to you. Thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you, everybody that kind of followed him. Hopefully, everybody subscribe. Make sure you like us on Facebook. We're at Another Shot. I constantly have the link on our Facebook page. Follow us on Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram. Looking forward to seeing you guys all on part 2. Robin?
Yeah.
We know you'll be there, girl.
Yep. How long? Like 10
Give it-
minutes?
5-10 minutes at best.
All right.
We'll be right back
Okay.
on. All right,
Okay.
guys. Hey, thank you all for joining us tonight. Again, look up Gary Burk, GaryBurk3.com. Guys, look him up on YouTube, listen to his stuff. He's on Instagram, he's on Facebook, he's on TikTok, he's on all of them. Listen to his music on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, whatever you can find. Gary Burk, thank you for coming out. We're going to end this one as we always do. Steve, what we say is always just our opinion and the way we've seen stuff. But then again,
It just might be the alcohol.